say they like coast to coast, but on demand, raw and uncut interviews, and all without no ads. One says false and one says true, and the rate you sync grows too. Grimerica is here for you. Stories from the listeners, they sent to Graham. He'll read them and be amazed, but Darren may say no. One says red and one says blue, but if it's balls it just won't do. Grimerica is here for you.
Okay, guys, welcome back to the Grimerica Show, 500th episode. We're celebrating, I guess, with a call-in show, or it'll just be a real short show if no one calls in, and we'll just call it a show and go to bed early.
Right on.
Yeah, it'll be a nice short 500 short, or it'll be a long one. We'll see.
Hey, at least we get to chat with our buddy Joe Rupe.
We got our buddy Joe Rupe here, magician. Of course, we'll be able to... We'll be able to pump the magic on the mountain because we're going to hang out with Joe here in like 10 months, or not even. It's got to be down to like 6 to 8 months from now. We'll be partying with Joe, hanging out, learning some magic. We're going to be learning some other stuff from Owen Hunt. And, of course, we'll be doing the cold stuff and a bunch of other stuff with Mr. Brandon Powell, Modern Day Shaman. That'll be a fantastic event. There is still some seats available, spots available, whatever we're going to call them, over at contact@thecabin.com/magic. We encourage y'all to check that out. It is going to sell out. I'm telling you, I always say these things are going to sell out. People don't believe me. Then it's sold out. People are bitching. Sorry. Don't say I didn't warn you. We got everybody's favorite podcaster, Graham. I'm wearing green underwear for the 500th episode. How's it going, buddy?
I'm doing well. Had a little synchronicity today. Want me to tell you about it, or should we wait?
Did you see the synchro where me and Anthony posted the 500th episode thing in the chats at the exact same time?
No, wow,
in the
that's
contact
crazy.
at the cabin thread.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Wow, good for you.
Let's hear about yours.
Well, no, I found this observer thing in my old paperwork. I was looking for my old paperwork today, and I found this observer document. It's like a little flyer that gets sent out. It's like an old school,
Oh, we have the new ones of those are in the truck.
Yeah, so I found this old one, and I look and I see on here it says Grimerica page 6, and then there's a note that if I want to keep getting them, I have to sign up, right?
We still get
So
them.
I had it on my counter, and I go check my email today, and I get an email for the first time ever from these guys, the Observer email.
Really? Today?
Yeah, today.
What are they saying?
And then I read they've got a review of our show in here.
This old one or a new one?
This old one. The old one that I found today has a review of our show, which seems very synchronistic to me.
That's probably why you're hanging on to it. Well, I don't have the jingle board, so.
But it does say some interesting stuff. It says they don't hide behind paywalls as the show operates the value for value model.
Poorly.
But it says the Grimerica show feels like it's on the cusp of a cohesive explanation of the anomalous events that saturate our reality. Most of the headlining names from alternative research circles have made an appearance on the show during its tenure.
Tenure?
Yeah, that one.
The tinner?
There was a comment here about how we were in the intro for the David. I think they mentioned the David Weiss episode, which is hilarious because I just got a text from Paul from Jasper saying that the flat earth guy, David Weiss, the adult brain guy, is on the No Agenda stream right now.
Oh, that's great.
So that kind of just compounds this whole synchro. But he does make a mention of how we read disparaging emails at the beginning of this show, which makes it, I guess, somewhat authentic.
Do we have any disparaging emails today?
No.
It's too bad we didn't.
He does
get more
say, despite this glowing review, the show has flaws. The recent run of the show content feels lopsided, favoring more metaphysical conversations over bread and butter paranormal dialogue. Instead of dealing with cryptids and conspiracy theories, they're focused on connected energy and chakras. To be fair, this isn't a huge departure for the show, as they have addressed similar arenas in the past, albeit much less frequently. There you go.
There you have it.
Kind of a synchro, I think, on the...
I don't have the jingle board. I didn't assume we'd need it. I figured Joe was running all that stuff. I could go get it.
No,
I got one.
I'll go get it for you.
I got one. I don't know what you need though.
No, we're good. We're good. We don't need jingles.
You just
We're
fucking
good.
hammer that shit down on the fly, Joe. So yeah, if you are watching live,
There you go.
perfect. If you do want to call in, the number is 1-800-588-0335. You can give us a ring. You can let Graham know how you feel or whatever you want to do. You can tell us a joke. Whatever you want to do, man. It's up to you.
I'll read another little bit here. Together, they bring a lighthearted and logical approach to subjects that are often covered haphazardly, expressing a genuine desire to understand the mysteries and synchronicities that they see as possible pieces of a larger universal puzzle. They use their podcast as a platform to analyze their own enduring questions. The rapport extends into the interview segments, and the host's friendship allows them to find a comfortable groove,
Friendship.
generating robust discussions with the people who come on their show. God, I'm just looking for that one other part, but I can hardly see this even with my reading glasses on.
You're going blind, motherfucker. Da-da-da-da-da.
Oh, how
You
about
got
this?
610 area code on the line.
Sure, sounds good. Bring him in.
All right, here we go.
Tonight.
You're live.
Hello. Can I be the first one to say to you guys tonight? First time, long time.
Oh, is this Cyrus?
Do you know who this is?
This is Cyrus.
No, you're close
Sal. It's Sal.
Yeah, it's Sal.
Salvatore? How's Colorado, buddy?
What's up, Darren? It's awesome.
Oh, you know,
No,
living
I have a
dream.
Philadelphia area code.
That's fine, but you're still, I know where you're from. I know where you're at. I bet.
Yeah. I thought you were asking about the area code. It cut out for a second. So congratulations, guys.
Thanks, buddy.
Thanks, man. Seems crazy.
Yeah, man. 500 episodes. That's a significant milestone.
Do you remember what episode you were on when we were talking about addiction in Florida?
That was Black Budget.
No, it wasn't.
Oof. That was Black Budget. Yeah.
Was
that
it? Are you
Black
sure?
Budget.
I don't think so. Was it?
Yeah, I'm certain.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, I'm 100%.
Oh, okay.
It was.
It's still on the Black Budget feed. It's on Gramerica Outlawed now in the pre-episodes, in the negative numbers.
And if anyone wants to get it direct, it's also in my Instagram bio at Salvatore_antithesis
Nice.
for the record. Yeah. So I just wanted to say, I wanted to call in and really congratulate you guys. It's been too long since I've seen you. And I just wanted to, I know you guys have probably heard this story from me personally, but for the general, audience that appreciates synchronicities, it was just funny the way I found you guys. It was sometime in the very early hundreds I found you. I was this was maybe, what was that now? 5 years ago, probably, right?
6, probably. 6, yeah. 6, yeah.
We just passed
6,
8.
yeah, I was going to say probably longer than that. Yeah, so this was when I was first, I was on the 101 stuff. I was just skimming the surface. I had always kind of known and known certain things you just know, but I hadn't really started doing my own research yet. I just started listening to podcasts of this nature. And for some reason, I searched Micah Hanks on Spotify. It was just really for no reason. I wasn't going to listen to him. I just wanted to see if he was on there. And you guys popped up instead, because I guess he was on the show, and that's how I found you. I started listening, and I really never looked back. And then and now we're friends. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, Micah Hanks was a big supporter of, he was a great help getting this thing launched.
Totally.
One of our first guests.
Yeah, I know. Good guy. Shout out Micah Hanks.
Shout out to Micah Hanks, the Micah Hanks program. How's things down in Colorado? You guys pretty well open back up now, Sal? Corona's over?
Yeah, it's pretty good. I mean, I don't go into Denver unprotected at night anymore. It can get pretty crazy down there.
Like with
But
a gun,
I'm
you mean?
outside the city. I'm more towards the foothills.
Like with a gun?
I mean, make it that what you will. Yeah, that's what I mean.
I'm getting some handguns soon. Can't wait. I'm excited. I got to get my license first because it's Canada. That's okay.
You mean you don't get to do that
We're
with your
gonna be
card? Like,
The handguns don't fall under the card's jurisdiction, it would seem.
oh,
Fucking racist bastards.
You don't need a license out here in Arizona. You can conceal it. You can carry it. You can drive dune buggies down the road. It's like Mad Max out here, man.
When it
It's
gets
the same
hot,
thing here, but you can't conceal it. You can open carry here, but you can't conceal. You got to have a permit to conceal.
well, here it's the opposite. You have to conceal it, and you can't tell anyone you have it ever.
you just scare this. If you can't scare the shit out of everyone here with an open gun, open carry.
Yeah, it's just good. We're all going to end up paying $17 a bullet pretty soon. So let's hope that doesn't happen.
Worth it.
Is that why there's a chain shortage out there? Because everybody's melting it down into bullets?
Well, it's another one of these things. First of all, the chain shortage, in my opinion. I mean, that's the first step in get rid of cash. But that's a whole other story. But one of the reasons the ammo shortage is happening is because the CCP, among so many other things, if anyone really wants to shit their pants, look up CCP money in America over the last, 3 decades. Point being is they're invested in so many factories that make components of the ammo, and they're just shutting them down.
Wow, really?
So that's one of the reasons there's such an ammo shortage. In addition to demand rising in crisis situations.
It's a good thing I've got plenty of ammo. I was prepared. People call me crazy.
Yeah,
And I'm prepared.
I wasn't prepared on that front. I'm not, and not on that front.
But it's hard to believe that
Or
you guys
saying that, or am I just saying that?
It's hard to believe you guys haven't insulated yourselves from manufacturing ammo. I mean, if anything, you don't want their hands in, right? Is your guns. I mean, can't you guys just keep made in America for the guns? I mean,
They sold the power grid, bro.
Yeah, they're literally in our power grid. They did. They're not. That's not even a joke. They really are in our power grid. They're in everything. It's. I'm telling you, you can't even do it for more than an hour. It's freaking scary. They bought up corporations. They own the New Year's Eve ball drop ceremony now. And go watch it. We didn't do it for COVID, but the past years before that, it's always promoting some Chinese tourist town. And they have these Chinese ambassadors dropping the ball and this, that, and the next thing.
yeah, we're doing a show on the organ harvesting coming up. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a huge part of it, man. That's scary stuff.
You better start learning how to get out of body, man. I mean, it's the only way you're going to be able to fight these people is if you become a ghost. You know it. You got to.
Is that Joe Rupe?
Everybody.
Fucking crazy thing to say, Joe Rupe.
I love it.
Yeah, I'm with
Tell
you.
us how you do that.
I just know. I'm saying, hi, Joe.
Well, you
Hi,
got
Joe.
laser. What's up, brother? You got laser weapons, energy weapons. They're in our water, energy. They're trying to take our guns, all this stuff. I mean, you could become a ghost right now if you practiced, right? And still affect the physical realm. Who can stop that? Why aren't we spending more time doing that?
Can we come back to the physical realm?
Yeah,
All right.
absolutely.
I'm in.
I mean, I think that people like us are spending time doing that, but the people who you're not going to reach, you're not going to reach. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think there's a lot more of that going on. I like to hope there's a lot more of that going on than we see.
I'm not working on my spiritual warfare game much at all. I got to admit, it's probably pretty weak. But
Hey, man, that's all this is, Darren. When you get down to it, that's all this is, man. In my opinion.
But I think I'm
My
pretty
humble
good at
opinion, that's all it
actual
is.
warfare, so
Yeah, well,
I'll protect
think
you
we're-
guys while you guys
I don't know,
are
man. I think
meditating the bad guys.
So,
away.
Joe, you're not
I think we'll
talking
stay
about
quiet.
you're not talking about just going dissociative while you're getting tortured or something like that. You're talking about sort of
like, what do you? Yeah, like, what do you want to know? What do you want to know? Because
like you're talking
I'm
like
not saying-
you're talking like many faces from the Game of Thrones, like that kind of stuff, or like give us some more details
Well,
on this.
kind of, it's even better than that, dude. Like, you could get out of body, go into a government building, and they have their own people guarding it, by the way. in the astral realm.
Astrally, yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah,
asteroid.
they do.
Yeah.
Hell
But you
yeah,
can
they
still
do.
get in there and see what you need to see, spy on what you need to spy, and if you get good at it, move physical stuff around, just mess stuff up, you know? How do you think all those missiles and nuclear missiles got? You know how I think it was Dr. Sal or Salas or something that
Michael
talked about
Salas,
those nuclear. Yeah, with the the missiles that got knocked away and all that stuff. It's just beings, either human or other beings. I know it sounds crazy, but they know how to do that stuff and project it. We can do the same thing. We just don't work on it because they got us focused on all the stuff to be scared of.
And Friends reunion.
Yeah.
And
They keep us away from that. That the holy books were constructed the way they were constructed for a reason. They tell you not to mess with that stuff for a reason.
Yeah.
And it's not really for the benefit of your spiritual life. It can be, actually, because if you don't know what you're doing, you can really invite some unwanted things into your life. But I think a lot of that. Yeah, go ahead, Joe.
I don't know. I like all the unwanted things for some reason. They make me feel good.
Well, I mean, it's hard enough to have a lucid dream. Never mind about leaving your body, going and breaking into the government facility that's astrally protected. I mean, that's like next level ghosting. I mean, start off with a lucid dream for me.
I don't even think that's called ghosting. That's like something else. That's like that Inception shit. That's incepting.
Yeah.
You're incepting.
Yeah.
It has an actual name, I think.
Well, I mean, Robert Monroe, like if you guys saw that movie, Third Eye Spies, they never talked about him, but he was.
I haven't yet.
He was in all the pictures, and
I need to.
In his first or second book, he went to the White House to try to talk to the president in the astral realm, and there were guards in the astral realm that told him, you can't come through here. So that's pretty trippy.
You should come clean my house in the astral realm. Then I'll believe you. If I come downstairs tomorrow and the house is spotless, I'll be like, oh my God.
Yeah. There's people that do it, man. Like
make sure you
I'm not trying to say I'm good at it.
realm.
I just know that people do it.
That'd be
I'll
quite
pay
the
you with physical dollars.
That's the moonlighting job for sure. Eh?
Yeah. While you're sleeping, you're even cleaning while you're sleeping. Maybe you could do a couple places at once. Can you split yourself astrally?
I haven't tried that yet.
It'll be risky.
Like being two places at once, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't tried that yet.
Cleaning two
I don't think that's possible.
Cleaning 2 apartments. We're saving on travel. You're saving on travel time either way.
I think we'd do better by spending our energy on that than picketing and stuff. It doesn't seem to get anywhere,
Just gets
Maybe
you
we'll find
identified. Just gets you identified quicker, as a dissenter,
What's the critical?
What do you think?
Joe,
500 episodes.
Joe, what do you think the critical mass point for that would be?
Critical mass point for it would be?
Yeah, like how many people would have to be engaging in this for it to like really start making a difference? That's what I mean by critical mass.
Oh, I don't know. There's already a ton of people, entities, and stuff engaging in it, but how many people that had a purpose? Man, it wouldn't take more than 100.
Really?
I mean,
I'm talking about like how, because so many right away you have to I would think that right away immediately 3/4 or more of the country is completely has no capacity to even believe that shit is possible.
Well, that's true. Yeah, you got a point. I don't know.
So I guess what I'm asking is,
we need Darren.
Yeah, just like
he needs to hurry up and get on his spiritual game.
Yeah, Darren would help.
He's the leader.
Who, me?
I don't want to clog up the phone lines. So if you want, just give me the word if anyone else is calling or whatever.
Get the fuck out of here. No, just kidding. I'm not the leader. Graham's the leader. I mean, this is documented. It's been said multiple times. Graham's the leader.
You're the protector then.
I'm the CEO. Or something.
Man, that's awesome, Joe. It's good to talk to you again, man. I was just listening to Lighting the Void like 2 or 3 days ago. I didn't know you were going to be here. That's awesome.
I'm the Grimerica phone guy. They just let me play around too. It's really cool.
Yeah, I realize that now because you guys are connected on Fringe and whatnot. Yeah, that's awesome. I think that's a great partnership, and I support it completely.
What are you getting into now, Sal, for research wise? Like I remember a couple of years ago, I think it was China, right? That's what you were saying you were gonna go down the rabbit hole on.
I was trying to do like, it wasn't necessarily China as much as it was the Far East and Japan. It was really almost Japan more than China. Their role in the New World Order and all that.
Oh, that's what it was.
But then, you
right.
know, COVID kind of happened. Yeah, COVID kind of threw that off. So my research sort of went into China. I think I've mentioned that a couple of times tonight about just it was not even anything serious. It's just for my own personal, like, trying to know how to navigate capitalism and what to support and not to support type thing. That's really why I was doing that. But the real stuff now I'm getting into is I'm kind of steering away from the conspiracy New World Order stuff in a dark, depressing manner. And I'm trying to go towards the origins, man, towards like ancient Sumeria and Mesopotamia and, you know, the Dead Sea Scrolls, the Secret Book of John, stuff like that. I'm trying to learn right now because they give you everything you need on Oxford EDU. And in addition to learn how to translate these ancient symbols. And in addition, there are hundreds of tablets that have not yet been translated. So you can actually go on there and translate these tablets and submit them. And they'll post your work on oxford.edu.
Wow. Hey, isn't there still caves to be found
so
too, they say?
Now. Oh, I'm sure. No doubt. I don't doubt that at all. And then, finishing up writing my book, man. We're going to do it as an audio book. Be announcing that soon.
Sounds good. Yeah. I mean, I was listening to Aeon Byte talking about the Dead Sea Scrolls. I think that's the same couple episodes.
I listened to that last night.
Yeah. And kind of fascinating how they think there's a whole whack more caves too. And then the way those were found, right? Just kids playing, broken pottery from a soccer ball or something, found the cave with the Dead Sea Scrolls.
We should find some.
Do you know how the original Gnostic Gospels were found?
I don't.
That's even a crazier story, I think.
Is it
a person in like a group of? I believe it was Turkey. You know, this is people who still live a rather primitive life. Were going to settle a blood feud and get revenge on someone that killed one of their family members, and they stayed in a cave overnight, and it collapsed, and they found the books when it collapsed, and just ended up not going to kill this guy and made a lot of money on the books instead. It's wild.
What?
It's in the intro to Elaine Pagel's Gnostic Gospels book.
Well, who pays? So when they find that book,
you will not get me out of a blood feud that easily.
Like, who pays them for that book?
Yeah.
Who's the first person that exchanges money?
They went to I believe they went to the Turkish government, or I believe it was Turkey. If anyone has the Elaine Pagel's Gnostic Gospels book, the only one, she wrote a bunch of books. That's the one about the Gnostic Gospels. It's right on like the first 2 or 3 pages. It's in the intro. It's like a paragraph and like the first thing she says. So if anyone can find that. It'll tell you exactly. But I believe it was the Turkish government.
I think some private investors got a hold of a couple of the Dead Sea Scrolls. Huh? So it wasn't
that
just,
too, and
yeah.
I think I was kind of just using it. I was saying it more metaphorically too. Like, I don't really know exactly what happened, but I just know that he didn't end up going to take revenge after that.
Wow, that's
fascinating. And I would assume it would be money if you find something like that.
Have you read Have you looked into the Colburn at all?
We talked about this off air. I've just started finding out about that. There's just so many. There's the Emerald Tablets that Thoth apparently wrote, but they're among the most interesting, man. But they have they must be very modern because they have like a rhyme scheme to them in English. It's very bizarre, but there's so much information in those. The Emerald Tablets. Trying to think what there's another big one I'm forgetting. It's not the ancient Sumerian tablets. It's not Mesopotamia. It's the Babylonian ones. I know there's a Gospel of Jesus. There's a Gospel of Mary Magdalene. There's a Secret Book of John. There's Gospel of Thomas.
That's still the oldest
Enoch,
one, though,
obviously.
Right? Gospel of Thomas is still the oldest, I think.
The oldest of the Gnostic Gospels, or the oldest?
It's the oldest gospel period that's been found.
I couldn't tell you that. You may very well be right. As soon as you read it, you know why it's not in the real Bible. You know, there's some pretty cool stuff in there. Not that the regular Bible doesn't have cool stuff in it too, because it does. But the New Testament has been very great. The New Testament may very well have been the first piece of Hollywood style mind control. You know?
I was thinking that when I was listening to that episode, how all these things that have been left out of the New Testament, like the Book of Enoch among them. And I thought of that exact thing. They took all this, they cleansed it, they put out what they wanted to create this whole new sort of thing. And I felt like that was like the what they do now in the modern times. I mean, this is like, I thought the same thing. It's almost the initial programming, stuff, the initial, television.
Totally.
Exactly. But that's a very touchy subject, man. Like that pisses people off and start talking about that. Because you want me to really get into like this shit, man? If you want me to, I'll get into it, bro. See, like he said, there's things. I'm talking about the actual Bible here. Jesus says, oh my God, 2 Corinthians 1:18, I want to say. I don't know for sure. I could be off on that. But I know it's in 2 Corinthians. Satan is the god of this world. Okay? Satan is the god of this world. Satan simply means adversary. Okay? He also says that the light that appears to Saul on the road to Damascus, who then became Paul and became the apostle, and he went on to write all this stuff in the New Testament. Paul wrote like 2/3 of the New Testament, they say. Jesus claims that light that appeared to Saul is Satan, is his adversary. That light. So essentially, in my eyes, it's Yaldabaoth. That the Christ is probably someone else earlier on, like Yahshua. A lot of people say it's Yahshua who came down and said, you can't be doing blood sacrifices, you can't be doing blood magic, you can't be doing this, you can't be doing that. And they either wrote about Yahshua in a more modern context, or he came back again, or whatever the case may be. Joshua was the one who came down and tried to stop all of this stuff. Does that make sense? Are you guys following me?
Yeah.
Sounds like a cool cat.
Yeah, Yahshua seemed to be a good guy. So what I'm saying is, in the eyes of Gnosticism, Yaldabaoth was the Gnostic demiurge created by Sophia without the permission or consent or knowledge of her male counterpart, God, the creator. The Sophia being the divine feminine, him being the divine masculine. And Sophia created this thing, and it's kind of ignorant, and it made it the archons. It created this world. So the thing is, then we can get into the Cathars and why the Vatican suppressed these writings for so long and still suppress these writings. They killed the Gnostic Cathars. I believe it was the Cathars. And I think I was saying to you, Graham, the other day when we were playing D&D or something, that catharsis, what catharsis is an emotional cleansing. Was that put into our lexicon because the Vatican considered getting rid of the Gnostic heresy and emotional cleansing? Catharsis, because they no longer had to worry about people spitting the truth and breaking their spells of mind control.
Fuck yeah, that's fascinating.
Did I connect? Did I bring it full circle?
Oh yeah, Joe, what do you think about that?
I think it would make more sense than the doctrine that I grew up with, for sure. I mean, it would make it all make more sense. It sounds right, like Yeshua ben Joseph was what the guy's name was called. Then there's Yeshua ben David. He's been called a lot of things. And then if you look into the history of the Essenes, that's pretty interesting too. It all kind of connects back to that too. And I don't know if you guys have studied any of Daskalos or Dr. Stylianos Teslis, but his stuff is pretty interesting too. But
can you say that name again?
Daskalos? Yeah, it's easier.
The whole name.
It's easier to just say Daskalos. Like if you look up Daskalos.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll do.
Daskalos
is probably the coolest and truest form of Christian mysticism I've ever read. And he also has a tree of life, like a Kabbalistic tree of life that supposedly goes from the Essenes back to Egypt. But the tree has different symbols on them. And he said it's more of the original Egyptian version before the Jews got a hold of it. I don't know, but a lot of the stuff that he teaches checks out. So
sounds pretty anti-Semitic, Joe.
I've never heard of it. Well, That word just means Arab. I don't know. It's crazy how they are able to control and twist language like that. But I wanted to ask you, Joe, do you know approximately when this guy was writing or teaching or whatever? Do you know when he existed?
Doskolos? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he passed away either in the late 80s or 90s, but I don't know when he was
so he's somewhat contemporary.
Yeah, so Daniel Joseph, who's been on my show a few times, actually traveled to the Isle of Cyprus, right, to witness what this guy could do, because there's a book called The Magus of Strovolos, and that's another witness account to what this guy can do. But Daniel Joseph went over there to visit him, and you can listen to some of his teachings on YouTube if you just look up Doskolos, right? But supposedly, you know how like the secret societies, like Theosophists and Madame Blavatsky, that group, they talk about secret masters or hidden chiefs and secret masters all the time.
Ascended masters?
Yeah, well, they call them secret
masters
chiefs.
So okay, I think they're two different things.
Yeah. So this guy.
Yeah, go ahead. I know what you mean.
This guy was one of them that taught them, and he's not
Doskolos one.
Yeah, and he never he's not a guy that comes out and not like all these gurus you see now or anybody never cared for any recognition. People just found him out there and then started writing about him and stuff. So, but he was a hands-on healer. And he wrote a lot of books about your etheric double and your etheric body and the different ways you can heal that way. Some pretty trippy stuff.
Where did he live? What country was he from?
Russian Cyprus, I believe.
That's practically Russia.
Cyprus. Okay, you said that. That's like an island. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
awesome.
Sal.
Yeah, thanks, man. I love discovering new things.
We appreciate you calling in. Hopefully we'll see you again soon at a CAC or
guys.
something.
Yeah, absolutely. I can't wait. I'll talk to you guys soon. It was a pleasure calling in. Have fun the rest of the night, and I love you guys, man.
Love you, Sal. Thanks,
buddy.
Love
you too, buddy. Stay cool.
Take it easy, guys.
Somebody else has got to call in.
You got some tarot cards there, eh, Joe? Do you want to get that going, or should we just chit-chat a little bit and get some more calls in?
I think my kids are going to try and call in here right away.
Oh, my God, really?
Oh, that's cool. Really?
They want to be celebrities one day.
That's awesome.
Let's see, we got 757. You ready for this?
75.
Hey, what's good, guys? How do I sound?
Pretty good.
You sound great.
Happy 500. That's amazing. I'm really glad to.
Thanks. Who's calling?
Sorry, I'm nervous. This is Booberry, Mothman and the Miniocalypse. Y'all are part of the original Trinity, I should say, with Higher Side Chats and Tinfoil Hat. Found y'all back in 2016 after a stagehand recommended Greg's show, and hopped on. I was having some stuff going on as far as a third eye forcing itself open almost in a sense. And I've been hanging out and listening ever since.
That's awesome, buddy. We're so grateful to be in the trilogy with Tinfoil Hat and THC. I mean, that's fantastic.
Yeah, that's great company.
Yep.
It's cool.
Good company
Yeah,
to be
I just
beside.
met Sam for the first time, and Sam had a show here not too long ago, probably 2 weeks ago. Met him. It's a great time. And there was a synchronicity, funny enough, that I kind of had an involvement with at the beginning of this show. Whoever texted in about the No Agenda stream playing David Weiss, he was on our show last week.
David Weiss was?
That's a flat Earth guy. He tried to come on Lighting the Void too, but I didn't. I just don't talk about flat Earth.
That's so weird, because I was going to say to Paul that texted me, I've seen him around a lot lately.
Weiss is making the round.
Yeah, he was on OBDM not too long ago. I know that he reached out to Grumpy Old Ben's as well, and I don't think that ever came up or actually happened. But it was that appearance on that y'all did with the Ben's with Sir Bemrose and Darren O'Neill that really kicked my ass into gear for sticking with it. And it's been a ride. It's been a lot of fun, and trips me up. Blows my mind.
Well, we appreciate that. We appreciate that you stick around for all that time, man. It's cool. Blows me away that people listen to the show for that long, that many episodes. I'd be sick of me by now. I mean, I've been sick of Graham for a while.
Well, if anything, I only want more. So that's why you got to sign up for Outlaw Plus, because it's sick. It is such a sick show. I love that shit.
Thanks, buddy.
I love how hard you guys go on that. It is quite a phenomenal podcast.
Do you think that we're going to stay in this loophole of free speech and podcasting for a while?
I think where there's still a will, there's still going to be a way. So it becomes an issue of when we stop wanting to say the stuff that we need to say, then yeah, it's probably going to go away. But people always find workarounds. You know, there's always ways to bleed through the fence or bleed, just skirt on by through the system. Always has been, always will be.
What are
until it's not an option anymore.
That's a good point. It's until we start censoring ourselves so much that we end up inadvertently stopping talking about the important things,
So we give up.
Yeah.
Right.
No, then we'll go back to shortwave.
I don't think we'll have to give up.
I think the idea of federation is gonna help a whole lot. Where even if the shows have nothing to do with each other, it's still kind of together but separate. Which started as a joke in a lot of the theater stuff that I used to do, but now it's starting to make a little more sense. But yeah, I mean, just as long as you keep producing stuff and keep coming back to your audience every week, and the audience keeps coming back to you, I don't think that they will be able to shut anybody down. It's just a matter of when it actually flips over and we're full bore authoritarian, totalitarian. Like it's the actual inaction of the Great Reset and Build Back Better, not this slow burn. Got to warm up the pot a little bit. Don't want the frog jumping out or nothing.
Yeah.
Unless they come at it with a blowtorch. That's the one I'm looking for, is the blowtorch to the frog in the pot.
As soon as the blowtorch comes out, you're out of there. When do you think that's going to happen? Like, what would you say?
My co-host Lavish, we have at least been able to give it a term to define it, and that's the great unzipping. So it's coming down, and it's coming down, and it's coming apart, and it's coming apart. But at some point, the whole thing's just going to drop.
Oh, I like that.
And,
the zipper comes out the bottom, and it opens right up.
Yep. So, is it going to be 2030? I mean, that was they had that agenda 2030. All of those pharma douchebags are saying, "Oh, expect this for the next 10 years. Got to get prepared for a permanent pandemic." They I don't know. Oh, hot tip. I don't know if you guys bother with the Disney Plus, but the Keeper wanted to check it out, so I've been watching it with her. Second episode, they're going full bore predictive programming. There's a whole speech, like back to back. First, you get the sort of esoterica, what's running behind the scenes, and then they got the ideas of what 2030, 2040, 2050 are all going to look like. And it's a little quite apparent, I think, if you're knowing what to look for. That's my hot tip of the day.
What show are you talking about? Or just are you talking about all the shows, kind of, or all the new ones, or?
Oh, my bad. It was the new Loki episode 2.
Oh, okay. What's your show? What's your show called again? Before I forget to ask.
It's Behind the Schemes, SCH3M3S.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. I heard you on No Agenda the other day. Somebody plug in your show.
Well, yeah, it's we've been I've been listening to. Here's something I can't. I know when I found you guys. I know when I found Fireside and Tinfoil Hat, but No Agenda just started happening every week. I don't know where I found it. I don't know who I found it through. I just started listening, was totally into it. And it was a real lifesaver for 2020 because I used to do Broadway tours. And we were in Ontario, Canada, when everything shut down. And it was this whole, like, oh, we got to flee. We got to get across the border now. And just, it was a shit show. Meanwhile, I'm sitting there telling other cast and crew, we're kind of doing our, like, last supper on the other side and don't know when we're going to see each other. And I was telling people there at the time, I want all of the patrons to line up on the way out and just start coughing into my mouth. Like, let's do this. Let's get it over with. And this was in March of last year.
Have a COVID party, yeah?
Oh, yeah. Spreading is caring, I guess. I shouldn't make that joke. It was a bad joke. But no, I kind of lost the point of what I was, where I was going with that one. Damn. About
No Agenda and how it changed your attitude.
Oh, there, right. Yeah, so I was probably listening at least September of that year, but I was listening to No Agenda as we fled across the border, and then we came back, and I'm the Mothman of the Minneapolis, so that's Minneapolis, Minnesota, and I was there for all the riots and everything when the fucking precinct got taken the second night, and everything popped off, and at every turn, No Agenda community's been there, been rocking away, and we've had a blast, and they're 100% the most fun part about doing the show is just interacting, hanging out with everybody, having a good time, and talking some conspiracy shit.
Do you think that a lot of those riots were strategically located based on real estate?
I've seen the videos. I've seen them lay out the map size. I was spending a lot of time down that way before they happened. After they happened, not so much, but we moved quite a far, I shouldn't say far ways out, but probably 25 minutes further away from downtown. And this was on the south side of downtown. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't doubt it for a second. I'm not the most savvy real estate planner. That would definitely be something to talk to my buddy about because he sees these things. He sees how the maps for cities get laid out, so he'd have a better understanding. But it's yeah, I wouldn't argue it.
I can't remember who it was I saw. It was either Catherine Austin Fitz or Rosa Quarry or something talking about the placement of all those riots and the sort of the opportunity zone type thing happening from it.
For sure. It was gnarly, man. It was really gnarly. I was following the riots around for a couple of days, but it just got to the point where you get back and people have been pushed to the point where they're really just like emotionally torn and broken and hurt. So you can feel that and soak it up. And at the same point, you just know that they're getting egged on to the extremes. And I mean, there was the umbrella dude. First, he was the cop from St. Paul, and then he was the white supremacist dude, or I shouldn't say white supremacist, but he was the Hell's Angel guy, right? And they just kept pushing the bar further and further back, and like, oh, there's no people that were out of town, but yet there's this guy from 4 hours up north that was arrested, and he was indicted, and just the whole thing was a mess. Seeing huge pillars of smoke on the way home. I was on the interstate going the other direction when the fucking semi truck came through the protesters that were on the interstate. It was a shit show. I apologize for the language, but I don't know what else would be a better descriptor.
Clusterfuck.
Got some weird photos out of it for sure.
Fubar.
Yeah, Fubar is a good one.
Fubar, yeah. Come on down to Fubar, Minnesota, where we got all your right needs.
Has it calmed down now?
Man, it's calmed down in the news media, I'll tell you that much. It took me a week to find out that a guy just plowed another car through a group of, well, he didn't he plowed through another parked vehicle that was being used to block an intersection, and the parked vehicle is what hit somebody. And I found out a week later, and I live here. But unfortunately, the people that I still know on the feed bags, aka Facebook, they weren't kind enough to let me know that this had happened. There's been probably 2-3 weeks of protest now.
Is that the one?
A handful of events.
Is that the one where the guy got dragged out of the car and beat up afterwards?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. They suspect drugs and alcohol were involved in the accident, and it's foobarred, man. Really foobarred.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy that if you end up in your car in one of those things, you're in a no-win situation. You stand there, and if you don't move forward, you could get shot or your window smashed in, like happened in Utah, or you can just hit the gas pedal and then be in real trouble.
Guess you just decide in the moment what's best for you.
Yeah.
What works for you. Might do a little both.
What works for me is probably avoiding the area for a little while longer.
Let's just stay away. Best to avoid. That's probably the best bet.
What are some of the topics you're interested in?
Well, I really like esoterica and occultism. Probably most favorite, symbology in Hollywood. I really appreciate seeing all the little call-outs. What that tells me is that it's not the cast, or maybe the cast is into it for sure, but it's like the set designers and the set decorators and the production designers. It's all of those people that are the ones that drop this stuff in, the script writers. Maybe not so much the editors, but it's a lot of the crew. And like I said, I got an entertainment background, and it's just it's easy to pick it out. A lot of fun to pick it out.
Huh.
Cool.
So you think it's happening
like
at that
too.
level? Right? Yeah. That's interesting.
For sure. I unfortunately the name of the gentleman escapes me, but he was the Disney insider that y'all had on Outlawed not so long ago.
Matt DeMille?
Yeah, Matt DeMille, right, being Cecil DeMille's ancestor.
Yeah.
That's I live for shows like that.
Yeah.
So much fun.
Yeah.
Deconstructing Hollywood, man, it's just a magic factory, nonstop happy feels. And then when you consider what No Agenda is breaking down with the way it looks like Hollywood and China are having a TMZ level breakup, it's gonna be interesting. Definitely keep your eyes on them. Well, maybe not. That's what they want.
Best to avoid. It's like the riot. Best to avoid. In my opinion.
Yeah, there's certainly a level of I think riot porn was a good apt descriptor of it, because you'd see one definitive group of people trying to tear stuff up, and then you'd see another definitive group of people coming by and using it as photo opportunities. That was definitely the one reoccurring theme that I saw over and over and over again. How many people were posing for pictures?
So speaking of being in the entertainment, no, go ahead.
Sorry, what were we saying? I was going to say I wasn't going to hold up any the time anymore.
All right, buddy, that's fine. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for calling in, man. I hope you keep listening. Hopefully you're a supporter. And yeah. Hopefully you call back when we do whatever our next call will be like 666.
Love it. Sounds like a great time. All right. Y'all take care. Have a good one.
Thanks, buddy.
Have a good night. You got a card for us now, Joe, or a caller?
No callers. No callers yet. You got to keep giving out the number. People, for some reason,
It's on the stream, but it's 1-800-588-0335 if you do want to call in. I suppose in the meantime, you could pull a card for us, see how our future's looking.
Wish you a happy 500th.
Hopefully. and not
You never asked me how I found Grimerica. But I really don't remember, so I don't think I could tell that story.
You don't remember, really?
I think because I've been listening to it for so long, I think I actually found you guys when I first started listening to podcasts, when I was listening to Joe Rogan, like back when it was cool, you know? And
back when it was
I was
edgy.
like, well, there's got to be more cool podcasts on here. And it was the artwork that you guys had that got my attention.
Wow, that's good to know.
Grimerica. And I was like, what does that mean? I don't know what that means. So I just started playing it. And I'm serious, man. I just started playing it. And that's how I started listening to it.
Miles,
and I always liked the beginnings and stuff. I like the guests too, but I like to hear both you guys talk and then hear the people that would email you and tell their stories and then listen to you guys give each other a hard time. It was always fun to listen to.
Miles listened to his first Grimerica the other day, and it was the one where I was making fun of his bad skeet shooting.
Oh my God, really? That's a bit of a synchronicity.
Right? Yeah, what are the chances? Yeah, he texted me.
What do you want me to pull a card for? I mean, just
I'll let Graham handle that. That's his
I don't know. It's the more metaphysical department. How about for the next like 6 months kind of thing, like for the
next 6 months?
Yeah, like for the new, you know, for this. There's been a lot of big changes that happened right around 500. You know, I'm kind of doing this and narrating sort of full time, and lots of changes. So
yeah. So what are the next 6 months going to be like for Grime?
Is that a good one? Is that a good one or?
Well, yeah, and we just
the rest of 2021, basically.
We just started the new show at the end of January, and the other new show at the end. Outlawed is turning 6 months. Rockfin's turning
already. Wow,
5 months.
Really, already? Wow, that's
look at that. Ace of Pentacles. You can't get better than that, dude.
Oh wow.
You guys you're gonna in the next 6 months. You're gonna you'll have mastered the Pentacle. In other words, money. All the physical stuff you guys want to do, events, everything's it's going to be loaded.
Wow.
That's a good card.
Fantastic.
That's a good
Ace
card.
of Pentacles. Wow.
I mean, yeah, it's the root of, it's like you've mastered how to make money with a podcast, how to make it successful, how to make it flourish in the earth. You're good. You got that tool down.
Wow.
Sweet.
Hopefully we just figured it out like yesterday.
I have like 600 pages of this book 2 Secret Doctrine to read. So, I mean, you know, maybe that's a good sign that'll.
The audiobooks have been going better than expected. I mean, we were just talking about that last night, how that seems to be, you know, everything's sort of starting to ping. At least to the point.
I gotta get into that.
But now we're starting more fucking stuff. I mean,
well, we got one you can collaborate with. Sorry, Darren. We got one you can collaborate with this on, Joe. And what were you saying, Darren?
Well, now we're just going to keep venturing into new stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Is what'll happen. We'll always be busy, and hopefully, it'll be rewarding. As rewarding as it's been so far. I mean, we can't complain. 500 episodes in, Graham's able to pull the pin on a day job. Hopefully he's not living under a bridge in 6 months. But I think the Ace of Pentacles is saying we won't have to worry about that.
Yeah, you guys did it right. Don't do what I did. I just pulled the plug on everything, just the hell with it, just because, you know, because I'm impulsive, and it led me down a road of a lot of struggle, you know, so.
Well, yeah, no, it was a long process. It wasn't quick. It was one of the toughest decisions ever, but you know, hopefully it'll be good.
Yeah, but see, like if you can quit, then you can focus like all of your energy on your craft and your creativeness.
You're right.
You know?
It's almost more about energy than time, to be honest with you, because what I've found in the last few weeks is holy shit, I almost wonder how the fuck was I doing it before? The time, it's unbelievable how the time flies and how there's not as much time as I thought I'd have.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Like, but I think it's more about the energy than the time, to be honest with you.
Wait, are both of you going to quit, or are you just quitting
No,
first?
just me.
He's already quit. Well, he tried
Well,
to
do
go
you want
part-time,
to?
but they just kicked his ass out the door. I do eventually. I want to quit. Yeah, but not right away. Not right now. Right now, I've sort of got some work to do. I got a few things I got to take care of before I'm ready to do that. And I want to buy a farm here before I do that. So I got a couple of things I'm trying to figure out.
I kind of simplified my life, and I don't have kids, and I support Maria and I, my girlfriend and I, but we're pretty, we're living fairly simple, so it's a little easier.
That's cool, man. I'm jealous. Everybody should be jealous. You worked hard for what you got,
to
though.
Voicemail.
Yeah, Well, it might be back then.
Is that because everyone's calling at the same time?
Well, if someone's and if someone's on, hold on. Yeah, if someone's, I don't have that 4-line system anymore. I've budgeted down a little bit. Here we go. Oh, I know what happened. Sorry, y'all. Just call back. Wait a second, though.
Oh, he's a pro.
No, not really.
No? Well, by definition. Is the studio...
Yeah, by definition. All right, now you can call back. It should work now.
All right, now you guys can call back.
I pulled up, 403. Yeah, just call back. There you go.
Is it ringing?
Yeah, we got 647 on the air.
Hello.
Hi.
Hey, how's it going?
Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Pickering, Ontario.
Oh,
Pickering. Hey, that's
how's
not
it going
far
there
from
back east?
My old stomping ground.
Oh, it's going. We're over here in communist Ontario. How are things in Alberta?
Well,
Better than Ontario at this moment. I mean,
Yeah, no
in
doubt.
general, it's
I gotta-
usually better.
Yeah, I got a work trip planned going to Edmonton. I heard you guys are lifting the mask mandate.
Yeah, as of
Heard that already happened.
end of the month. It ends
End of the month.
end of the month. Everything ends. Everything.
Oh, nice. Well, I'll be there in July.
Oh yeah, everything's wide open in July. We've been pretty wide open the whole time, and they just had restaurants were closed quite a bit on and off. But now restaurants have been open for a few weeks, and the stores and stuff never really closed. They never told us we couldn't camp here and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's terrible here in Ontario. Like, I can't even express how bad it is. I think, they just allowed us to go camping. Like, you want to camp by yourself? No, you can't do that.
I used to call it unterrible.
They just... Yeah, unterrible. That's a good one. I got to remember that.
That's why I moved it west.
Congratulations, guys, on 500.
thanks.
Thanks. We appreciate it.
I've been listening since about 2013.
Wow.
Well, that's when we
I
started.
think, I don't know, early.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that would
if
have been in
you-
the first third. We only did 20 eps, I think, in that year.
If you swing by Calgary when you're coming to Alberta, let us know. We'll meet you for a coffee or something.
Yeah, that'd be nice. I'm going to Edmonton, and so how far is Edmonton from Calgary? It's pretty far.
3 hours. Yeah.
It's about 3 hours. We got the Calgary Stampede happening right away here. That'd probably be worth
nice.
the
When's
drive
that?
down. That's the 8th to the 18th, I think, or the 9th to the 18th or something.
Huh.
So if you're in town, look us
Yeah.
up.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll make it up there. Chances are I probably won't. I'll be pretty busy. I got a full week of work there in Edmonton, and then I'm going to be coming back home. So,
Well, at least you'll be able to get out on the town, hopefully do some shopping, get out for dinner, and it'll be Edmonton.
Yeah, exactly.
That'll kind of suck. Edmonton's kind of a shithole, but it's not terrible. It's not terrible. It could be worse.
yeah, so I wanted to say I found you guys through Randall on JRE.
Excellent.
Looking for Randall Carlson
And,
episodes?
Yeah, I want to. One time I'm going to join you on one of those CAC CAC trips. I was thinking about one of the other ones, I don't know, a year or two ago, but didn't end up pulling the trigger on that.
Can't wait to go on one of those CAC trips.
Well, we got one coming up in September, one in February, one in April, and then one next November on the books right now. You head over to contact@thecabin.com if you want to take a look. Put down a deposit, then you're committed.
Yeah, no kidding. Just, yeah, especially with COVID now, it's not like I'm too busy.
Yeah, and it looks like COVID's over. I mean, for the most part. You guys might be fucked, but
I'm hoping so.
So how are they still, I'm just curious, like, how are they still thinking there's a problem in Ontario there? Or is it just completely?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
Everything is based on vaccines, and I think it's the same in Alberta, where it's like we need to reach certain thresholds of vaccinated people, either 1 dose or 2 dose, and like you have to hit these certain percentages, and then they give you your rights back slowly. Like it's just wild here.
Yeah,
and then you hear people from the States, and they're telling, I'm hearing all this stuff in the States, and it's just wild. Like in Florida, they just had a 70,000 person concert, and they had the governor, DeSantis, out there, and it's just like really makes me want to leave Ontario. But I like Canada. I like the area here, but it's just the government is it's crazy.
Yep, it's 70% vaccination rates is what they're shooting for in Alberta, which they've got now. They've reached their 70%. So I can't believe they've made it that far, but I guess that all the pressure and the propaganda and the coercion has worked. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, Ford's got us on this crazy, like, these steps. We have to do these steps. There's like a 3-step plan or some shit, and it's just nuts. I'm not going to get vaccinated, but now I'm thinking, like, man, I hope more people get vaccinated so I can actually, like, have freedom.
I was going to tweet out today. I was like, thanks, guys, for taking one for the team. Yeah, I mean, my patience really paid off. My patience paid off. I've got my papers getting made right now.
My whole family, they're all in on it. Like, they're all, like, getting vaccinated. And I'm like, you're, like, 27 years old, like my cousin, he's out. Oh, I got my vaccine. Like, man, do a little research.
I'll be selling fake vaccine documents for $150. So if you need some to travel, anything like that, look me up. Of course, it's on the DL. You're gonna have to pay me in Bitcoins or some shit, or I don't know. We'll figure it out. But I got your back if you need vaccine documents in Canada. Alberta would be better, but whatever. Just say you got it.
I almost wonder if it's even going to happen, I think they're still going to require tests. Like I've heard from Americans crossing the border, like you can be fully vaccinated. It doesn't matter at all. You still need a test.
Yeah, that's
so
what
I don't
it is
know when
for now.
that's going to come.
That's what it is for now, for
but
sure.
Like if you're fully vaccinated and you need a test, why not just not be vaccinated and go get your test?
Exactly.
And you still need to quarantine and everything. Yeah.
It's really hard to say how it's going to come about, because it's in some ways it's falling apart. There's all these doctors and scientists in Canada. They're coming forward with all this evidence, with all this stuff, but it's just not breaking through the mainstream sort of media paradigm that most of the people are living in. So it's like it's hard to say whether it's going to. Because they're still pushing for the vaccines. I mean, they're still pushing for the passports. They still want it. But in the fine print, you need to be tested. I don't know where it's going to go. I don't know. It's going to be so interesting in the next little while, the next few months.
I know all of Canada's bad, but you guys are lucky there. Like, I was just in Alberta. I was in Calgary in November last year, and, like, I didn't have to wear the mask. And as I was there, actually, the mask mandates like came in effect. Because I'd go into Walmart and it'd be like most of the people weren't wearing masks. And coming from Ontario, like we'd been wearing masks since I don't even know when, like early 2020, like in the summer of 2020.
I know, it makes you wonder, right? And then we put the masks on last summer, August, not us, but like Calgary, August 1st, and it didn't do a fucking thing. and people just still going along with it, you know. And then in Ontario, it's not doing anything there, and you guys have been doing it longer than us. Like, there's no logic or adjustment to science at all here. It's unbelievable to me.
It's absolutely insane. Like, I listen to the High Wire with Del Bigtree. That's a great podcast.
Yeah,
I'd recommend that to everyone. Like, if you want to get the facts and the science, and
he's been killing it with the guests too. He's the one guy. Like, if you're gonna listen to anything COVID vaccine related, go to the High Wire and listen to that every Thursday. He comes out with it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Cool, man. Well,
and one thing. I want to thank you guys. You guys were the ones I kept hearing you talking about No Agenda. And I was like, what is this No Agenda? And then I started listening to No Agenda, and now I'm like a massive No Agenda fan. And I actually went to one of the meetups yesterday here in Peterborough. And that was just a blast.
I bet you.
I just want to thank you guys, because No Agenda's Adam and John C. Dvorak, they're just absolute beauties.
I bet there's a great bunch of people you met with there yesterday.
Oh, it was such a change. Like, because I'm used to just, I have a few friends that, like, we all kind of agree on that this is all bullshit and that, but a lot of people I'm around, like my family, my aunts and uncles, my mom's, she's kind of there, but she's not, she doesn't really look into things, I guess I'd say. But to go and meet people that are, like, fully aware of what is happening is really nice.
Yeah.
I actually met this Russian guy, Val, and he's like, "Oh, I live over in Ajax. We're gonna go fishing tomorrow." He's like, "Oh, I fish for big carp," and I'm like, "Fuck, I love fishing, man." So we're going out tomorrow. It's, like, nice to meet people, and people that aren't, like, afraid of a virus. Like, dude, it's been 16 months or whatever. Like, I think we're gonna be okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome.
Totally.
That's great.
Yeah, that's great. Well, thanks for calling, man. I hope they let you guys out soon. I wish.
Yeah, hopefully. We just got to hit those numbers, right?
Yeah, just like, I guess
hit those vaccination numbers.
It's unbelievable. I can't believe we're allowing this to happen. I really cannot believe it.
They keep bribing us with ice cream and Dunkin' Donuts.
Dude, the 12-year-olds are getting bribed with ice cream.
We have a lottery here.
You guys got lottery over there, don't you?
Well, just recently, yeah. I don't know why, because they made it to their 70%. They got to still push people to go further.
No, once they got to 70%, then it was a week after that, the draw.
Oh, okay. Oh.
So if you get your shot this week, you could still get in. I mean, that million retires you.
Just imagine, eh? They have to go to this length to get you to take the jab.
You're like 10 times more susceptible to strokes, but
yeah. Don't worry. The only four pilots died recently in that. Who was it? Which airline was that? They started
British
saying
Airways.
but it's not vaccine related. I mean, eventually this whole thing's got to crumble. You'd think.
Just keep your head down.
Now they're recommending you don't fly if you've been vaccinated.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, it might increase your chance of blood clots. I mean, holy fuck. I hope people can just hang on a little longer. Just wait a little longer for the people that. Yeah.
I hope people don't start dropping dead. Like, most of my family's all got the vaccine. Like, I don't want to be, that's, like, kind of crazy.
Yep. Exactly.
I guess, time will tell.
Yep. All right, buddy. Well, thanks for the call. It's awesome to meet you.
Absolutely. I've been a supporter for a long time, and I really appreciate you guys. So keep on going.
Awesome. Thanks, buddy.
We'll get to show 1,000 soon enough.
Fuck yeah.
That's right.
Thanks, buddy.
For the support.
Next caller.
Well, the lines are open. I almost hit the No Agenda sound, What is that news thing they do? This has got to be it right here, right? Oh, better take this call.
You got a jingle?
I got a No Agenda jingle here. I was just going through stuff that I had, and it sounded just like it just came from their show. I think this is it.
That's like the opening.
No,
Isn't
that's not.
that the
No,
one they use?
no, I don't think
No?
so. No.
That's
All
the
right, well,
opening
you
of the
got-
show, isn't it?
289 area code on the air.
289.
289.
Mustang 289.
Hey, hi, guys. I'm calling from occupied Ford Reich here in Ontario. Again, another caller from Ontario. I think I can explain a little bit of the political situation here. It seems like Trudeau and Ford, or Trudeau or Castro or whoever, and Ford, they're having a political thing. So Ford, he could have said, you know what, Florida and Texas are open, we're open for business. But no, Ford and the Ontario PCs decided that, oh, Trudeau's letting people in, so we've actually got to be stricter. So it's just a bunch of political theater bullshit that they're pulling, and it's at all of our expense. And really, it disgusts me that Ford and his followers were all open for business, but now Ontario is one of the worst lockdowns in the world.
What do you mean by Trudeau is
anyway.
letting in? What do you mean by Trudeau is letting in people? What do you mean by that?
Talking about how like the flights didn't stop, right?
Oh,
like the flights
yeah.
from China didn't stop.
Right. Yeah.
So now it's like, oh, we got to take a harder line. And it's like, dude, you're a dick. You can see that, like, Florida's open. And, you know, I even watched, like, live streams from, like, St. Petersburg in Russia. Supposedly, you know, like, oh, in Russia, you know, it's so bad there. And it's like they're walking around without masks. There's music festivals in the streets.
Yep.
It is absolutely disgusting what is happening here in the so-called free world. Canada is truly fucked, and I'm really sorry for this language, and it's too bad because this is supposed to be a joyous occasion. I thank you guys. Congratulations, 500 episodes. This is amazing. I keep thinking about that South Park episode where they were all like, for the war, against the war, who cares? 500 episodes. So, you know, no matter what's going on in the world, congratulations, guys. You've done a fantastic thing. I've got some thoughts here that hopefully we can discuss quickly, and then I can get on with.
Yeah, man, I got a question for you though, like, because I agree with you. Do you think that this is because, you know, Tam is getting orders directly from the WHO or China, or like, are we trying to set an example for the New World Order here, or is it just that the people are just too fucking asleep to see what's going on? We're really fucking programmed in Canada here.
Sorry, Graham, I didn't mean to cut you off, and I do appreciate the question. Now, we have to see who our adversary is. Our adversary is a multi-headed psychopath that can't be reasoned with. So, we can't reason with them. We can't show them their own hypocrisy. It doesn't matter. Now, we can show other people, and this is going to end up being a numbers game. But right now, the problem is that our good nature is being used against us. So, for instance, it used to be back in the 80s and the 90s. I'm old. There was the environmental movement, so everybody was against pollution. But then you got these neocons and these neolibs coming in, and all of a sudden they were talking about carbon credits and things like that. It used to be the same thing. They used to talk about equality. I remember we had Degrassi High, and everybody was like, everybody was all cool with each other. It didn't matter if you were gay or if you were a 14-year-old pregnant kid or whatever your race was or gender or da-da-da-da-da. But now, because of this whole neo thing, which is all of this money coming in, that and it's also a softening. So the left, what they did was they said, oh, we're going to have a hardline fiscal policy. And the right were like, oh, well, we're going to be all virtue signaling for all of these oppressed groups. So it's kind of like they merged into like the one uniparty. But when this all happened, basically they're using our good nature against us. And you can tell this by somebody who compels you into action. So somebody who says, hey, look, I don't do that because it's against my religion. Hey, I respect that. That's totally cool. Somebody says, hey, you can't do that because that's against my beliefs. That is how you identify these psychopaths. And you fight them back. How do you do that? The first thing you do is you live your life. You live your life, and the people that you love, they may be confused. You treat them with respect and dignity and love. However, when these assholes and Karens come at you, oh, they can get all indignant? Cool, yeah. Oh, Coke wants to fuck around and say all this stuff about whiteness and stuff? Okay, Coke, you want to be in Canada? Well, maybe we ban you. But maybe if we don't ban you, maybe we treat you like alcohol. Maybe we can, like, charge $20 a can and you have to pay ID or you have to show ID like you do when you buy booze and stuff like that. Because Coke really is just poison and there's nothing to it other than just this garbage. Yet, hey, oh, corn's going up, so oh no, beef's going up, but Coke's not going up. I can still get Coca-Cola in my store, and it's like, this is absolutely preposterous. So so they're doing an in-group, out-group thing. And guys, you gotta remember, who's cool? The out-group. Fight Club. We're Fight Club. But don't be violent, okay? Violence is what they want to goad us into. What we want to do is we want to take every opportunity to shame them, but also be better. Live our lives, but don't be scared. Now, right now, there are the laws and there are the media, and I'm not saying it's necessarily going to be easy, but we're men. You're going to need to get a black eye. You might get a bloody nose. And you know what else? I'm going to tell you something else. I'm going to tell you something. This is going to be totally another thing because I was thinking about your funding model, and I was thinking about how you do the value for value thing, and I think it's great. But another way you might want to approach this is to look for 1,000 committed people who will give you $100 a year. That's $100,000. That's a good place to start from. And after the call, I'll get in touch with you. I will commit to pledging you $100 for this for your 500th episode.
Oh, wow. Thank you very much. Well, we encourage everybody listening to follow his lead and sign up for $100 a year, or even the $6 a month that outlawed, or $5 a month, whatever you can afford. There's definitely room for improvement on the support front. We could see that number go up a few percentile. We're still, I think we have hit 1%. We're now hovering somewhere between 1% and 2%. But if we could get, if we get 1 in 5 people supporting the show, then I could retire too, and we could do like 3 shows a week, right?
Well, what you guys are doing is super important, and it's not even necessarily the number of shows. Like, Canada right now, we've got this internet censorship bill that is being censored. We can't even talk about this fucking thing. Trudeau is out of control, and seriously, this globalist bullshit needs to stop. But it's funny because it's like, oh yeah, people are waking up, but what are people actually going to do? This is what we need to do now. We need to take the next step, and the next step, Darren, seriously, you are an inspiration. Just the way that you can, like, you're traveling to and from the States. Me and my wife, one of the things that we love to do is travel. I haven't seen my mom in over a year. This is absolutely ridiculous that we are living in this world.
Dude, you are giving us the best advice right now. I'm telling you, this is the big question. What do we do? Like, what is happening in the next little while? We can talk all we want on the show or whatever. I know Darren's sort of more of a doer. He's making it happen. He's living his life. Like you said, what do you do? Live your life. But that can also become sort of invisible. I mean, I don't like being around in the public with a bunch of fucking maskers right now. Like, I really don't like it. And I know I could, just...
All about decentralization and doing what you can, finding where your power is. Somebody might not be a good podcaster, but you know what they can do? They can put together a website that maybe has a whole bunch of information about adverse virus reactions, or maybe they could put together a website about all of the censorship that's going on and all of the ways that people have been deplatformed, or maybe they can put together a little fanzine, or maybe they can in Ontario here they've got all these signs up at these houses that say no more lockdown. I'm going around making a little map. You know what I'm doing? I'm going to be sending out letters to all of these people saying, hey guys, we're all on the same team here, and they can pick us off individually, but when we're a big group, they're scared. And the other thing, politicians and CEOs hate is to be on the hot seat. So you tell them, you get their names out there, and you make sure that Thug Ford and the Ford Reich here is known that he's a Nazi, and then, they're trying to quell free speech. You can't bring up the Nazis. So you're saying that I can't bring up the Nazis when my people were exterminated in the Holodomor as well, when the genocide, so I can't compare a genocide to a genocide? So what are you doing? Are you now denying the Holodomor? Are you denying the genocide of my people? I think that's a pretty slippery slope there, Ford. I wouldn't be getting into that, and this is the problem with censorship.
I agree, 100%. Yeah, fantastic call.
So I think this has been manifesting for so long. Ontario is angry. We are bubbling over, but we got to remember to keep it cool and not be violent. We just got to remember to put our energy into being our best selves.
You kind of have to think about separate. I think it's about creating your own reality, your own separation, your own economy, your own businesses. We have to, because I think it's going to get, Darren doesn't agree with me here, I don't think, but they're going to come after us. They're going to come after the non-vaccinated. This fall, there's going to be disasters happening this fall, and they're going to blame us. It's going to be all about not everybody got vaccinated. Go get them. So I don't know. I feel like, in Alberta, it's different because we don't have as many people. In Ontario, you guys have a little bit more people to build that momentum. We don't have the people here. It's and Saskatchewan and Manitoba, New Brunswick, there's not enough people to make a difference, to actually make those waves. I think we got to start thinking about just separating out completely.
Well, okay, there is that. I mean, there's that whole agorist idea, right? If you listen to Jack Spirko, the Unloose the Goose people and all of that, they are building their own communities. There's the Freedom Cells. There's, in New Hampshire there's that Free State Project, whatever. There are a lot of people, and, of course, with cryptocurrency, alternate currencies, different coins like that, people are starting to do things like that. But also, this is our world, too. These assholes, they got this supposed moral authority. Fuck them. They don't have any moral authority over us. They are literally now, and it's all out in the open, and they're arrogant about it. So it's up to us now to go, no.
Yeah, I agree.
I said
no. That's not the life I'm living. And we're in the future, and we used to joke about it. Where's my flying car? Where's my fucking flying car?
Yeah.
We shouldn't be talking the stupidity. We shouldn't be talking about this lockdown. They want us eating bugs, and then worse. And it's they just want everybody right now into this degenerated situation where it's basically we're just eating bugs and just engaging in sex work, and then so the whole thing's down to control. It's like Logan's Run. It's basically you're going to have a social number, and it's going to be tied to an environmental number and a productivity number, and then when that number gets too high, now all of a sudden you're no longer sustainable, and off you go for recycling.
Oh yeah, they'll start. They'll start limiting your access to the internet. I mean, this is the next step, I think, is they've already tried it on a couple people, and they're going to say, you've been caught doing this and that. You are no longer allowed on the internet.
Yeah, and that, and also the energy too. I mean, these rolling blackouts, and and just all the supply chain stuff, and it's all fake. The lumber, yeah. I know Darren probably has experienced this, and I was trying to build a deck, and I go to Home Depot, and a 2x4 is $50. It's crazy, and but there's still trees. And they're still it's just the lumberyards are full, right? But because what they're doing is they're pulling the plug, man. They're saying, okay, cool. You guys have had your run now. You've had your great century or whatever it was called. But now, curtains coming up. We're pulling the plug, and that's it. And they are showing right now that it is two societies.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. The segregation will continue.
I don't mean golf guys. I'll be in touch afterwards about that donation and stuff like that. And I've got a couple other ideas too, just about the federation idea that the dude brought up earlier. There's a lot to that, and I work in tech. So I've got some ideas about maybe how we could facilitate getting around big tech's bullshit, because that's the other thing too. I've got kind of a personal thing against it now, because they took our vision and our dream, and all of us edge runners back in the day, in the 80s and stuff, all us coder kids, and we built this shit, and then they took it from us, and now they're using it all against us. And as somebody who was involved in actually making some of that, I do have to say I am sorry. I was stupid just like everybody else. We were naive, man. We didn't know what all this shit would become, but it's become it, and now we got to deal with it, reckon with it. So here's to another 500 episodes. I'll be in touch offline, and what's the best way to get in touch with you offline?
GrayMakerAmerica.com.
Okay, you got it. So you'll see an email from me within the next.
Thanks, buddy.
hours.
Awesome. Thanks for the call, and thanks for your support.
Thanks again.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Okay. Bye. Woo-wee. Some fellow Canadians all getting all jacked up. This is awesome.
If I was in Ontario, I'd probably be yelling too.
Angry.
It's so weird. It's so different. It's interesting.
Well, I went and drove across this country a couple of times and flew and stuff, and even people here are freaked out, and I don't know what they're freaked out about. You can travel, you know. I can only imagine what it's like to be in Canada.
Well, I mean, some provinces like didn't Manitoba shut down the border? I mean, no, it didn't. They didn't stop people.
Ontario were stopping people at the border for a while, but if you just, I mean, it's so easy to get through. It's just not even funny.
Yeah, their definitions are pretty silly, right? You got to be essential and not just traveling for leisure.
If you don't get through, you're a dope. I mean,
well, hey, whoa.
I mean, let's call a spade, man. If you're putting up with it, then that's your problem. It really is.
Looks like we got 604 area code.
Oh boy, that's BC. Coming from the west side of Canada.
Maybe it's your mom.
I'm sorry, y'all. I only got one line. There's so many people trying to get through.
Maybe it's your mom.
Who's on the air? Who are you speaking with? Where are you calling from?
Hello?
That's you.
Hey, welcome to America.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you.
Hey, I listened to your audiobook on Ted Kaczynski.
Allegedly, that's not.
Allegedly,
that's. I don't think there is such a thing.
Well,
you mean? Let's just say. Let's call it a podcast. You mean our podcast on TED?
No. Didn't you record an audio?
I'm just joking. That might not have been quite legal. So.
Yeah, all right. I really wanted to thank you for that. I just wanted to. Are you a Anprim?
I don't even know what that is.
Anarcho-primitivist? Do you subscribe to that?
I don't even know what. I still.
Yeah,
don't
can
know
you
what
help
that
us?
is.
Yeah, define that for us. It sounds cool.
Yeah, so basically, it's essentially like the detechnologization of our society and like returning to literally like the primitive days. Are you in favor of that?
Well, considering our entire livelihood is based off the internet, I would have to argue no. But I could adjust to it in a hurry. So I'm kind of set up for both worlds. I can go either way.
I hear that.
Yeah, so as long as I need money, I'd like the internet to work. But if I don't need money, then they can burn this motherfucker down. But I like the traveling too. I got to say, I like to be able to hop on a plane and go check out Zion Canyon and Bryce Canyon and go down to Washington and go to Vegas and all this shit. Well, the government says I'm not allowed to. So, oops.
True. Anyways, I just want to thank you for everything you've done, man. Have a nice day.
Thanks, buddy.
Everybody's trying to call in. Yeah, thanks for calling, man.
I hope that wasn't a trick question. I felt like that was a bit of a setup or something, but I hope not. You
What
know?
did he call it? A narco-primitivist?
Yeah,
Is that what it-
primitivist. It's an anarcho-primitivist. It's like basically what Ted was, right? Anti-technology, and it's that technology's heading in the wrong direction. I mean, it does seem to be like it's not hard to jump on that bandwagon, but I feel like
you would wither and
you know,
die
I
so
feel
fast.
like what, dude? I
Without
could
the
do
tech.
it, man. Nature's
No.
beautiful. I love it out
God.
there.
Dude, you came out hunting one time and you barely got out of there alive.
Well, dude, I was carrying a quarter of a moose out. You know,
You were
I mean, you're not
hairy-
going to be doing that all the time.
You
That
were-
would have fed
you
us
were-
for about 2 weeks.
You were carrying the leg of a baby moose.
Don't say baby,
Oh,
dude.
man.
Fuck.
That was a calf.
I thought
It's
you
like
said it was a
got,
yearling.
954 area code. You're on the air. Where you
Bring
calling
it
from?
in.
Who you speaking with?
954. Who you got? You're in Grimerica.
Hey, what's up? I'm actually, my name's Sean. I'm calling y'all from north of Savannah, Georgia.
Oh, hi, Sean from
Nice.
Savannah.
How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. How y'all doing tonight? Congratulations on the 500th episode. It's pretty dope.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, I started listening to y'all. I think I caught y'all on one of my edible, searches in the void or something a couple years ago, and I've been trying to listen to y'all ever since. It just depends how busy I am, but every time y'all always bring the heat and shit, so it's good.
Thanks, man. I mean, sometimes it doesn't feel like we spit the heat, but sometimes it does. Sometimes it does. Sometimes it just feels like we're spinning our tires.
No, yeah, y'all the best. So yeah, I was just basically calling y'all to tell y'all keep it up, and I appreciate y'all basically. So
Thanks.
That's it.
Thanks. How's Savannah, Georgia?
Booming. Georgia never shut down, not at all, and once right after February, once it was like, well, shit, everybody ain't dead. It's just everyone was like, well, we got to make some money and keep working. So I ain't seen a lockdown since it started.
That's fantastic. I hear so many good things about Savannah. I'd love to go there one day. I don't think I've ever been in Georgia. Oh no, have I been to Atlanta? No, I don't think I've been
Don't ask
in
me,
Georgia.
dude.
Yeah.
As long as I've known you've been too scared to leave fucking Alberta. That's not true. You
Y'all,
go to
yeah, y'all
Saskatchewan.
would probably love it.
Is it
It's
close
a nice
to
area out here,
Charlotte,
so.
North Carolina?
I mean, you got a decent drive. It's we're like where I'm at, like real near the border of South Carolina mostly. So, but you can get there. It's not too far of a drive.
Like what? Like 4 or 5 hours or?
Yeah,
Yeah,
around
that's,
there.
yeah, that's
That's
nothing.
nothing
Yeah,
for
that's
us
nothing. Jeez,
Canadians.
yeah.
Every time we go hunting, that's like fucking 4 or 5 hours of driving return trip.
Yeah, no, it's not.
Well,
it's
I'm
not too
planning
bad.
to
It's
come
a real good
down.
location.
I'm planning to come down. I got so many fucking places to go once the border opens up. I mean, I could be going now, but it's just kind of a pain. But I will if I need to. I mean,
Live your life, Darren.
I am, but I just went on 2 trips already this year. I need to save money again. I bought a drone, grimerica.ca/support. But I would like to go down because my buddy Brandon Powell is right down there, not far from Charlotte. So he wants me to go down there. So I'm really working on getting down there. Bill Loeb, of course, is right down there. Randall Carlson isn't far. I could go spend a week or 2 down in that area for sure. I do a
doesn't Owen
meetup.
live down there?
If I go there, I'll do a meetup at Neighbors Feed and Seed in Georgia. What's it called? Samoa or Sam? I
No,
forget.
it's Smyrna, Georgia.
Smyrna.
Smyrna.
That's Smyrna's like what is that? Like northwest of Atlanta. Yeah, I know. I used to work out there too.
Yeah, our buddy owns Feed and Seed there, so it's like that'll be my venue for the meetup when I'm down there.
Okay, sounds dope. Yeah, I think you'd like it down here. Most
Oh,
people are pretty decent.
Yeah, I get the sense I would like it down there for sure. For sure. We're gonna go out hog hunting and shit.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I just want to call in and tell y'all thanks. I actually got to go because I got to go pick up my wife from work. But,
all right, buddy. Thanks.
I just want to touch base with you.
Thanks a lot for the call. Appreciate it.
Have a good weekend. All right, guys, do keep trying to call in. People are texting me and messaging me saying they can't get through. We still got a couple hours of this shit. You guys just keep trying. We'll get you guys in. This is the first time we've had this problem. Usually we're trying to fill the phone
Well, because we're
lines.
doing it properly through.
What the hell are you watching there?
Through Joe's. I'm looking for the map of America here.
Looks like you're looking in all the wrong places.
Are you looking at
That
porn?
was the wrong Savannah.
That's the wrong Savannah. Who we got next? Joe Rupe? No callers. We got a break.
Yeah, I mean, we could take a break if you want.
No, just let them in if there's more callers. I'd like to get through as many as we can.
Oh, I know what your problem is, Darren. You need some funding from the $2.7 billion of Jeff Bezos' ex-wife. She's funding Open Borders lobby, racial justice, NGOs, and more. So,
well, why don't you see if we can get on the list or whatever?
Yeah, how do we get on that NGO?
Why don't you see how we can
exploit
the government with our indigenous-owned company? Even if you have to give me another 1%. Right?
51, yeah.
51.49. It's indigenous majority owned. Fuck your taxes. I mean, I'm kind of I'm at the point
708
now.
area code.
708 or 780?
Who's calling? Where are you calling from? Yeah.
I bet it's Paul.
Hey, it's Marcus 45 calling from the suburbs of Chicago. How are you guys doing? Congratulations on the 500.
Thank you very
What's up,
much,
Marcus?
Marcus. How's Chicago?
Hey, I was calling. I wanted to see what you guys would think about what I don't know if you've been listening to James Corbett, and he's been talking a lot about Cyber Polygon.
Yeah.
And I work for a restaurant supply company, and it got hacked. And just as they were putting it back together, it got hacked again. So stuff's going on.
Yeah, man, that's crazy when you hear the WF warn everybody of it, and now it's starting to happen already. You know, all in the media, like, it's coming. I'm surprised that it's coming so small. Like it's like the boiling water.
China.
You know, here it is, little by little by little. All these little things, all these little examples that are going viral. Yet they're all small. But is it working up to something big?
If you were paying attention,
that's what I'm kind of thinking. I'm thinking this is just kind of like a test in the waters. They got us restaurant supply, another grocery store / restaurant supplier called Gordon Food Service out here, and then they got another place out here too, but I can't think of the top of my head. I got brain fog, a little nervous being on the radio, but yeah, they're doing something. And I think it's just like preliminary.
Are you following?
I'm worried about banks and stuff like that. Listen to Charlie Robinson.
Yeah.
You know, I pulled some cash out of the bank. I got my prepare with the Fringe. You know, my freeze-dried food, some rice. You know, I got my stuff together.
Yeah, good
I got
for
kids,
you.
little kids and stuff.
Yeah, good for you, man. Have you been following the Ice Age Farmer at all?
How do you preserve the little kids, and how do you cook them?
You got to preserve them. You got to feed them. You got to give them water.
Like
you got to educate them, and they grow up to be little ewes.
Yeah, perfect. Then they take care of you when you're old and you're shitting your pants. Ideally.
Now, if I get that far, I'm going to say, real simple. If you can't do it, put the gun in my hand and walk away. If I get to that stage where I can't take care of myself. That's just me.
That's one way.
I'm a long way from that day.
That's it. You got a while to go.
Yeah.
No, my kids are going to change my diapers
40.
for a while. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, Darren's 42. You're both 40. Yeah.
I'm 40, yes.
Yeah, no, Joe's going to be 40.
Yeah, next year, buddy. Did you get the 4-week food supply? How much of the food did you get to prepare with?
You know, little by little, I've been buying it. I just got just because of what's going on now. I was buying the longer life shelf stuff, like the 20-year, 25-year.
Oh, okay.
I bought a MRE that's a 3-year. I figured the way stuff's going, I'm probably going to need it. So, and I got like freeze-dried milk. I got eggs, freeze-dried eggs, and vegetables, the protein. I got a bunch, and then I bought like stuff at Costco, like rice and a ton of water.
How long could you go?
And canned vegetables, canned fruit.
How long could you go?
Some of the stuff's only got like a year shelf life, but the stuff I bought from Prepare with the Fringe, My Patriot Supply, most of it's 25 years. Just as long as you don't open the bucket, you know.
Then you open the bucket, it's just a note that says "psych."
It's pretty good.
Right? I was worried about that.
It's not bad.
Yeah. I read the reviews, and a lot of it said, you know, Frank's Red Hot sauce and you know, the pepper sauces help. So I stocked up on those too.
There you go. That's the way to do it. Most people aren't ready. I mean, I could go forever without a grocery store. At least 6 months. At least 6 months. And that's eating like 3-course meals.
I get a lot of deer where I'm in the western suburbs of Chicago. I got woods right by my house.
There you go.
So I got deer walking through here, and I had to put a squirrel down the other day because it broke its legs or something happened to its legs.
Get yourself a crossbow and a fucking deer
I got
blind.
some stuff.
Crossbow.
Yeah, I got some stuff. I'm not worried.
There you go. That's the spirit.
It comes down to it.
What about a lot of people you know? Are they similar, or is everybody? How's the rest of your your friends and family and stuff?
I'll eat my fucking neighbors if I need to.
As far as family goes, I'm the only holdout on the jab, and I got some of them that have gotten it. One of them's going through medical school to be a RN, and he wasn't at all on the side of us, and I flipped him, and he's regretting getting that jab, and he's got far more stuff stocked up than I do.
Wow, that's great.
So I don't know. It went a little from nothing to a lot of something.
So can you give us advice on how to flip someone like that? How did it go?
I've been listening to a lot of Ryan Gable and talking to him about changing someone's perception and showing him the facts. Like, hey, this is what it says, and he's willing to share leaks and stuff. So I don't know if anyone's ever listened to the Fringe FM, all the Grand America fans, and then the Secret Teachings with Ryan Gable. I got to plug his show. He's a really cool dude. He will communicate with you if you email a show. He'll reply back. And if you need links or something that he talked about, he's more than happy to provide them. Sometimes it takes a little longer. He's engaged now, but he will give you his sources.
He documents everything.
You can see them for yourself. I mean, from what he says, I haven't seen it. I haven't met him, but from what he says, he's got the paper in his hand. I heard him crumpling the one on a safety data sheet. Like, it's right here, and they say they don't have it.
Yeah. If you go down to his studio, he's got file cabinets full of documents. He documents, and everything he finds, he prints out and all that stuff.
So is he going to get the second jab, or did he get did he already get the second jab, but he regretted it, or?
No, because he was administering them, he got one right away.
Okay.
And then he was like, you got to get this thing. I'm just like, wait a minute. No, statistically, there's no reason for it. And then he got the second one, and he's like, oh, I just felt, kind of crappy and stuff. I'm just like, dude, what? I mean, this 99.7% chance, they're just basically saying what Charlie Robinson was saying. And just, like, why would I need it? To get extra credit at a 97.7%? No. Like, it just makes sense what Charlie Robinson was saying.
So did he see, like, if he was administering it all the time, did he see adverse reactions or anything like that, or was that part of what changed his mind?
No, he said he didn't see any of it. Everything was just, he would give the shot, and then they would just, they would leave, and then I guess that's when they would receive their safety data sheet, after it's all said and done. Oh, here you go. By the way, this is experimental. Have fun.
Yeah.
So he would just give the dose. He says there's nothing, the first and the second's the same thing. That's what he was telling me.
Right. Yeah.
Moderna and the Pfizer, but right. I don't even want to know. I don't care.
I often wonder if Moderna actually just bought them off of Pfizer, because Moderna it's probably just the same fucking thing, just labeled. They make it seem like there's two manufacturers, but it's only one. I was thinking about that the other day because Moderna's because they've never really produced anything yet. So why would they start now? But, just fucking subcontracted from Pfizer. Just
That's
change the label.
genius.
Yeah.
We should start a fucking subcontracting fucking MNRA.
You can't even say the acronym.
See, I'm such a bad snake oil salesman. I just got to be myself. This is it. I'm stuck with this. So you guys got to support grimerica.ca/support. And hopefully that's it.
Hey. No, you guys are great. Hopefully 500 more. Joe, I love you, man. Great to finally call in and talk to you. I've listened to you for a few years now. And I got to call in when you got the show going. In 2 weeks I got Night Spotter, so my schedule's horrible, by the way. So that's why I'm always on sometimes and not on others.
Come meet Joe Rupe.
Yeah, so I'm going to try to call on when I got Night Spotters.
Come meet Joe Rupe in February. Contact@thecabin.com.
Yeah.
Arizona?
Arizona.
It's in Arizona?
Yes, sir.
It's in Arizona.
I got to see. Yeah, I'll just see if I can figure something out. Because next calendar year, my vacation resets and stuff, so.
Yeah, and thanks for the card. I needed that. I laughed my butt off in New York when I got that card, man.
Oh yeah, you're welcome. I want to do that the year before, and I don't know. I just forgot about it, so I wanted to get on it extra early.
Yeah,
so I didn't. If you want, I can send you some pizza, but it's pretty hot out there. I don't know if you want to turn your oven down.
I'm good.
I wanted to send it to you out in New York. Huh?
Yeah, I think I'm good. I don't know. Can you send it through the mail like that? Yeah.
I'll send you some jerky.
We'll figure something out.
All right, brother.
I'll send it. It'll be Lou Malinelli's dish.
I'll send you guys each some jerky for your survival kits.
All right.
No, you should. Hey, thank you guys for doing everything you guys do. I appreciate it. I'll be listening out there.
Thanks, buddy.
I'm going to get someone else to get on. Good night. Happy Father's Day, guys.
Thanks. Have a good weekend.
Malorcas. He's a cool cat.
Totally. He's a Lighting the Void listener. When is Lighting the Void now? Anyway, every day but Saturday?
Monday through Friday, 9 p.m. Pacific still.
Right, not
but
Saturday.
Sometimes Fridays I fall out and I don't do it because it's just open lines, sometimes. Depends on how crazy things have been.
Word up. You take Friday off sometimes, just say fuck it.
It looks like some of these calls. What area code was that? Do you remember?
I was like, no, I don't remember.
No.
What I think is going on, dude, there's so many people trying to call in. It's like locking. I think I know who this is. 614 area code. You're on the air. Who are we speaking with?
Hey, this is Midnight Mike from OBDM.
What's up, Mike?
Hey, Mike.
I'm just calling to wish you guys congratulations on 500 episodes.
Thanks, man.
Thanks, buddy.
Who would have thought?
Yeah, you're an inspiration, dude. You guys are awesome.
Yeah.
Aren't you guys at like 3,000?
Yeah, we're on like 900 or something.
Yeah.
No. Just 900, that's it. But congratulations, you guys do fantastic work, and hopefully we'll do a show sometime again here soon. If not Union, I'll be wanted.
Yeah, thanks, buddy. That would be great.
Anytime, man. Yeah. We'd love that. Yeah. What do you?
Hey, Joe, are you out in Arizona yet?
Yes, sir. I'm here.
Congratulations.
It's hot, but I'm here.
Yeah. I know. I got out.
Hot.
I hadn't really got to do anything yet. I mean, I hadn't since I've been here. So I've just been working in the studio mainly. So I haven't got to see any of Sedona or go hiking or any of that. I drove through it a couple times, but that's it so far.
Well, definitely go do the Sedona UFO night vision tour. I highly recommend that. It's like $200, but it's well worth your money and time.
Right on. All right.
They're still doing that, eh? That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really fun.
Damn, I gotta get down. I'm gonna have to go down to Phoenix for like a week so I can just cruise around, check out Sedona and stuff. When's that? That's in February. Yeah. It'll be
That's
cold.
a long time, man. I'm down here all by myself. You should come before then.
We'll send
I
Graham.
don't know anybody.
We'll send Graham down.
All right.
Where are you at now, Mike? Are you still where you moved to?
I'm in Ohio, northern, like central Ohio, just north of Columbus.
Right.
About 40 minutes north. I'm like 4 acres, surrounded by woods, and have some chickens and some gardens and whatnot. So
nice.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah, we're doing okay here. Yeah, it's not bad. I heard you guys talking about prepping before and like storable foods. I don't think I have 6 months. I think I have like 2 months or maybe 4 weeks if I'm really hungry. It depends. So,
well, you can live on eggs for a long time.
Yeah, I got chickens. Yeah, so I'm all good. I guess I say that now. Depends if you got hungry neighbors or not. So
you just shoot them.
But hey, I'm not going to take up too much of your time. I go to bed early, but I wanted to give you guys a call and say congratulations, and I'll definitely get in contact with Joe and Gramerica soon, and we'll do a show sometime.
Thanks, Mike.
So,
hey, well, plug your
500 guys.
Plug your show quickly and tell us what's going on there lately.
obdmpod.com, and as of late, just covering UFO news and a lot of ridiculous stuff. But as of late, just been talking about humanoids and some weird coincidences with humanoid encounters, like how aliens come in the number 3, or that there's always buzzing sounds associated with certain types of aliens, or that sometimes if you meet aliens with large, wide belts, they are more friendly. Just weird, common little quirks that I've been kind of tracking. So
awesome.
That's what I've been working on, other than all the ridiculous kind of stuff. So.
Awesome. Thanks, buddy.
That sounds awesome. Well, thanks, Mike.
Right, well,
we appreciate
have a good night,
the call.
guys. I'll listen.
Okay. See ya.
I'll listen to you guys off air. Okay.
All right. Thanks, buddy.
Talk to you guys later.
Yeah.
Bye.
Dude, the phone calls are just flooding in here, man. See, I think they're coming in so fast. Like,
you're just saying that, Joe.
No, I'm not playing. Like, it's clogging up. You
There's
got
like 6 people that are just calling over and over again. I think.
No, dude, I'm not playing. So you got 256 area code. You're on the air.
256.
Oh, hi. This is Brandy, also known as Rock's Third on the Discord.
Oh, hey, Brandy.
Hey, Brandy.
Hey, guys. This is the first time I've ever called on a radio station, so I'm a bit nervous, but I really love both of you. Well, actually, all of you guys. All the people who are behind the scenes on this show, and hearing you guys going to work love it. I mean, the intros always make me laugh, make me smile, even with everything going on. So thank you guys for what you do.
Awesome. No problem.
Thanks for listening. It's fun for us, I guess, most of the time.
Thanks for hanging around in the chats, too. Really appreciate the community there.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, yeah, it's cool to be able to actually talk to you guys and all the other people, like Skanky Owlet and Ryan from Kansas, all of them. And also, I heard, Darren, you were mentioning something about possibly trying to come to Georgia at some point. I'm in Alabama, so anytime you head this way, let me know.
Oh, and then Nikki's in Kentucky. Oh, no, Nikki's in Tennessee now. I might just have to do a whole tour. I'll just get
we got to get a little bit more support, and then we just take off in the van and do it. Just drive all over. Let's just travel.
Well, it needs to be an RV, I think, right?
Yeah, in the RV van. Yeah, we'll go to Georgia and all over there.
All right, we'll do a tour. We'll do a Hot Pockets tour.
You're in Alabama?
Yeah.
Would we drive all the way from here?
Near Tuscaloosa.
Fucking away we go.
I've got a map now open on my screen here for this show, so I can see where everybody's from. Where does Rock's Third come from? Is that like Third Rock from the Sun type thing? Or?
No. I was a music major, so Rachmaninoff's Third Concerto was my favorite, so Rock's Third.
Oh, I see. Awesome. What are your favorite subjects or topics?
Well, I mean, my favorite stuff is whenever you get into the, Randall Carlson's field of interest, the ancient origins, things like that. I love that. I also like listening to you guys talking about this current events, this vaccine and everything that's going on with that.
Excellent.
How'd you find the show?
Randall Carlson. I was following him through different YouTube stuff and came across one of y'all's old interviews.
Randall owns like a quarter of the show.
Yeah.
I feel like we paid him back.
Yeah.
We're even Steven now. I actually just...
Yeah, after I'd listened to that interview, I don't remember which interview it was, but when I listened to it, I was like, man, these guys are interesting. So I kept listening to further episodes and then started trying to listen to all of them. I'd gotten up to 60-something episode, and then I couldn't keep up, so I'm just listening to the current one.
Yeah, you can't. Oh, that's tough to go back. Yeah.
It's tough to go back, especially now. It's 500 episodes. That's a long way fucking back to go. I couldn't even imagine.
Yeah, I realized that. I finally just gave
Well,
up.
thanks for trying.
I actually just printed out a picture of Randall and I for my living room.
Yeah.
The picture of Randall and I overlooking the Potholes Cataracts together.
Nice.
Is that the same one you've got as your picture on the Discord? I noticed that looked like Randall was in that one.
I think the one in the chats is me and Randall and Dave at the Dry Falls Overlook. But I'm not sure.
Cool.
I got locked out of a couple of my chat accounts, so I don't know which one I'm on now. But that is grimerica.ca/chats if anyone wants to get in on the conversation, where we have no corporate overlords and no moderation. We do have some moderation, I guess. It's self-policed. Ryan from Kansas will kick your ass if you fuck around.
Yeah, it's a cool place to be, so everybody should join the chats for sure. But I don't want to keep taking y'all's time. Like I said, I just wanted to get on, say I love you guys, good vibes, and thank you for what you do. Happy 500.
Thanks, Brandy.
Thanks, Brandy. Thanks for listening. We'll see you in the chats. Cyrus has tried calling 40 times. He could be single-handedly jamming out the phone lines.
He can't say first time, long time anymore.
No, now he's going to say third time, long time?
43rd, long time.
Whoever 403 is jamming it up pretty good.
Oh boy, that's
that could be my kids.
Yeah, it could be.
Oh, 206. I lost you. You just hung up. All right.
That's Cyrus 206 probably.
307.
Is that even a real area code?
Hello.
Sounds
like
hello.
Hi. Welcome to Grimerica.
Hey. What up? It's Steezy.
What's up, Steezy?
How's it going, Joe?
It's going. This is the guy that did my intro music. He's a DJ.
Nice.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I made a remix of one of those Konak songs and made a sweet intro for you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. You listen to Grimerica too, though, don't you, bro?
Yep. Grimerica started it all, man.
Yeah.
That's how I found Lighting the Void.
Oh, cool. That's good to hear.
Love each other.
I thought it would be the opposite.
I sent Graham an email a long time ago. And I was talking about I made this really long psytrance mix.
Oh, yeah. That was great. Did I reply?
And it just... Yeah, oh yeah, we talked about it. It just like while I was listening and making it, it just reminded me of all this esoteric stuff. And like a week after I got done with it, Grimerica just randomly showed up. This is one of my suggested podcasts, and I started listening. I was like, man, this is great.
Oh, wow, that's fantastic. Yeah, I like that side trance. That was cool.
Yeah, it was just like a journey through time. Yeah, and then I was driving from Wyoming to Arizona, so I had a lot of hours to kill, and one of the podcasts was Lighting the Void, and the second I heard that music on there, I was hooked.
Oh, yeah, the space music, right? Yeah, hey, did you notice that any of the other podcasts, there's I don't know why, but I noticed a couple weeks after that, there's a whole bunch of shows starting to play like space music and synth wave. It could just be like a focus thing, though. You know?
Yeah, it really draws you in.
And then you hear you and all the information you talk about is just great. Just all clicks.
Yeah, are you coming to the event, man? In February?
What's that?
The Contact at the Cabin.
February?
Event? Yeah.
Man, I want to.
Well, spots are limited.
Remember when I first started listening to Grimerica, you guys were in Colorado, which is real close to where I'm at, and I was like, man, I can't believe I missed that.
Yeah.
Well, then you can't be far from Arizona.
No, I mean, I can get there. I know how to get there.
And we're actually up in the northeast corner, Arizona.
No, I was just going to ask you that.
Which is
so how far, like
closer to, I mean, I think we're only 4 or 5 hours because we've got Keith and Gage driving down from Pagosa Springs to do the food again. And I think it's only about a 4 or 5 hour drive.
Right.
So we're about an hour from the Petrified Forest in Lakeside, Pinewood Lakeside or some shit. Anyway, we got a giant place rented out. And it's going to be fantastic. Magic on the Mountain. Learn how to get the most out of your mind and your body.
Yeah, I need to make it. It'd be good to see all you guys. I need to come down and hang out with Joe. Got some music equipment for him.
Yeah, that's right. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do this thing, and then we're gonna have like a Fringe FM rave event. We're gonna have all the DJs come out. Everybody's just gonna do a bunch of Molly and acid. It's gonna be great. You know, I'm good.
Well, have one of your Colorado boys bring down a bunch of mushrooms.
There you go. Well, what's your favorite subject that you listen to on Grimerica, or both shows? I guess it doesn't really matter.
Well, one I'm really personal with would be lucid dreaming, but anything Randall Carlson and just the way the earth, the way everything was formed all around us just really fascinates me.
Can you lucid dream pretty good or pretty easy?
Yeah. I have some premonitions and just like this whole dream world that I can just jump into every night and go wherever I want. I don't know. It's pretty wild.
Can you give us some advice on how to do that?
Be a really light sleeper, I think. I don't know if that makes any sense, but I don't know. It's like I'm half awake and half asleep all the time. So maybe that does something.
Yeah, that might be it. Like you're kind of in that hypnagogic state quite a bit.
Yeah, it's kind of like when you wake up and then you fall back asleep and you have a really intense dream and you realize it's only been like 20 minutes.
Yep.
It's kind of like that all night.
So you don't have to practice being in reality during the day to sort of train yourself to notice when you're not in reality during the night?
No, it just kind of happens. I guess since I was a little kid, the dreams would get just a little more and more real. And it started off with me being able to jump, kind of like the Incredible Hulk, how he can just kind of jump and go wherever he wants. That's kind of how it all started. And then I realized once I'm dreaming, I can just jump. Like if you can't really control the current situation, like you kind of just fall in and you're just doing something. But at any time, if something gets out of hand, I can just jump and go to a different area. Kind of like a big video game.
That's a good way to describe it. So it's been there since you're little, and you can still, it's still there in your conscious mind to be able to do that. I used to try and fly like that, but a lot of times it wouldn't work. Like I have to do the kind of like, in a way it was a jump. It's kind of just like slowly lift myself off and be able to fly and then sort of go with the air currents. But a lot of times it wouldn't work. So
yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't really call it flying because I can't just like lift up and move around. I just kind of jump and then I'm way up above the map and then I can just kind of choose where I fall.
Oh, that's fantastic.
So is this the same thing as like what Ian Wilson was talking about with Dreaming for Gamers, where he uses the video games to map out his dreams? Or is this something like that you're doing specifically?
Yeah. No, it is kind of like that. No, it's like, it's very, I'd say there's like 5 different areas. It's like there's a ski resort, and there's like this giant weird casino, and there's like a big lake, and I can kind of just jump to whichever place I want.
That's trippy, man. That's
It's
really
like
cool.
Like a big Disneyland theme park.
It's really cool.
Yeah, I can never control what I'm doing when I jump in. Like, you'll land and there's something going on. There's something in your mind, like you're in the middle of doing something, and then you realize you're dreaming.
I'm going to try that.
Do it. You should be able to pull it off.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I think you can do it.
Well, thanks for your call, bro.
Yeah, no,
I
had a few premonitions too. Like, I've seen things, and then a week later it happens. Pretty crazy.
What was the last one that happened like that?
There was the bar. There was the Flamingo Casino or something like that in Las Vegas, and they had a rooftop bar catch on fire. And like, in my dream, I'm on one of those weird moving escalator platforms that they have in between casinos, only it was like way up above the buildings. And I'm just kind of standing there, and all these people are around, you know, we're all just standing on that escalator moving down the street. And I look over, and the roof is on fire. I'm like, oh, there's a fire going on over there, and everybody's looking at it. And I just kind of wake up, and like a week later, it was in the news. That bar caught on fire, and they were showing video of it, and I was like, man, that is exactly what I dreamt.
Do you write your dreams down? Have you had to do that over the years, or you don't even have to?
No, I've been starting to write them down.
Have you noticed a difference
just to
since
kind of
doing that?
remember?
Yeah.
I haven't like went back to read them though, so I don't know. It hasn't really made a difference. I think if I went back and actually read them and remembered them before I fall asleep, it'll make a bigger difference.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to be like, oh, look, I wrote this down 2 months ago, and here it is in the news.
Because I feel like for
Whenever
me,
that happens again.
I feel like for me, if I would do a better job at writing them down, it would help me to remember them, which would help me become aware while I'm dreaming. You know, the whole cycle of just being in your conscious mind.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's what they say. I haven't really I don't know, I don't really try. It just kind of happens.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I also have a really good memory, so.
Right on, man. I should try some lucid dreaming. I can never do it though. I was like this morning, I was in and out of it for a while. I woke up at like 5. And I was like, fuck this. I couldn't fall back asleep, so I went and I came down. I had a hoot, went back to bed, and then I was able to get back. I was like in and out of it till like 10 o'clock. I didn't finally drag my ass out of bed till probably quarter after. Feels nice though.
Yeah.
You'll just laze around in bed in the morning, but no lucid dreaming involved.
I think the best ones are when you're dreaming and you wake up and then you fall back to sleep and you're right back where you were in your dream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those ones would get pretty crazy. Because then you're more aware and you're like, okay, here I am back again, only now I know I'm dreaming.
Yeah, exactly. I've been able to do that a couple times. Yeah, I've been able to do that a few times, and then inevitably it just slips away to the point where I can't go back.
Yeah. But that could be damaging if you're kind of expecting something and it doesn't happen and you want it to happen. You're just like, man, go back to sleep, damn it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right on, man. Well, we appreciate you calling in to share that with us, and we hope you keep listening. We hope to see you in Arizona here in a few months. Hopefully we can meet up down there and we can have a good time.
Yeah, it'd be awesome. I'm still on that. I'm still a big supporter of Grimerica.
We appreciate that.
Thanks,
support.
buddy.
I send you that check every week, every month.
Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it.
Yeah, Joe, you need to get in on that.
What? Want to get in on what?
How Grimerica does their.
No, I'm in on it. We
what is it? What do you call it?
I'm a Fringe FM supporter.
Value for value. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, value for value.
Yeah, I'm in on it. Like so far, they think I'm worth $2, and I think they're worth $2. I think that's where we're at so far.
Well, it's like I always have $5 when that payment comes around.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's, I'm just joking.
I know I buy a lot of shit, so but I always got like $5 there, and that payment always goes through.
Yeah. Yeah, Grimerica is like the foundation for all of us podcasters. So we know it.
We're just standing on the shoulders of giants. There's OGs before us. We were the young G's at one point, believe it or not. You can do this too, and you'll be doing 500 episodes one day.
Yeah. Hey, I love it when you're on Lighting the Void too.
Yeah.
Like Joe's always like pretty respectful, and then you come on there and you're cussing and stuff, and I can tell you broken Joe down a little bit.
Oh, he made a backlink too. What was it? It was like
America.ca/go fuck yourself.
And that goes straight to the station. So it's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I really enjoy those episodes.
Yeah.
We'll have to do another Friday night again.
Anybody ever tell?
What's that?
Hey, anybody ever tell you look like a straight Tim Dillon?
Tim Dillon? No one's ever told me that.
Like a straight Tim Dillon. That's a joke.
That's cool, dude. I got it. It's a good joke.
Tim Dillon's gay?
You know. Yeah.
Huh.
Well, supposedly. No, he's a funny guy. I don't know if you know who he is, but popular comedian.
I like Tim Dillon. I follow him on Twitter.
Yeah, he's good shit. Now that AZ sun's looking good on you, Joe.
Well, thanks, man. You doing all right?
Yeah.
Good deal.
Doing all right. Been reading some books. Getting my shit together.
Right on, bro.
Yeah, Joe helped me through a lot of shit recently, so I owe him a lot.
Nah, dude, you don't owe me a thing. We're all just trying to make it through this thing together.
Yeah. Well, you helped, man.
Not a problem. Thanks for calling in, bro. It's good talking to you.
Yeah, hey, I might be coming through down that way in the next couple of months. If I do, I'll let you know.
Right on. Yeah, let me know for sure.
All right. Well, I'll let you guys get back to it.
Thanks, buddy.
All right, brother.
Thanks for calling.
Stevie. Cool, dude.
Steezy. Who's next, Joe?
I don't know.
That's it. Show's over.
1-800-588-0335.
It's still clogging up. I can see people fighting to get through, and they're clogging it up right now. I wish I could. Can I show it to you? I can show it.
You could probably share the screen.
Yeah, you probably don't want to see all the numbers, though.
Don't dox everyone.
All right. I'm going to use the restroom, but this is 403 area code. 403.
That's close to us. That's Darren's kids.
Oh, they hung up.
It's your kids pranking the call. They keep
yeah.
pranking. That's twice now.
No, last time was Cyrus, I think.
Yeah, it's 403. They've been trying to get him call in for a minute. All right, 518 area code.
Kids pranking and calling.
Hey, what's up, fellas? How we doing?
Good. How you doing?
Good. Hey, man, I just wanted to say that last guy that was on the horn there. I don't know what you did for him, Joe, but it really sounded like you really did something good for him. So I just wanted to give you kudos on that.
Oh yeah, he's just having a tough time, and I figured I'd call him on the phone, talk to him. We all need friends to pick us up sometimes, help us out.
Oh yeah, definitely. I've done that. But just first and foremost, happy early Father's Day, guys, and happy 500th for you. I'm real happy for you guys. Want to give you congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. How long you been listening?
I've been listening to you guys for a while, and we were talking about comedy there earlier. You guys know who Bill Hicks was?
You bet.
Yep, totally. Love Bill Hicks. I got a Bill Hicks shirt.
Hell yeah, man. Isn't he's something else? I mean, it's too bad that he died way back in the day, but his comedy was so ahead of its time. You know what I mean? Like, if his shit was popping today, he'd be probably the most cutting-edge, comedian going right now.
Yeah, he would have been canceled a couple years ago.
yeah, most definitely. But also, I just wanted to, you guys are about my age. I'm 38. You guys said you're 40, 42. Do you guys used to be Stern fans, Howard Stern fans back in the day?
I've never been a Howard Stern fan. I've never got it. My buddy Kyle was a Howard Stern fan. I was just like, I don't fucking get it, man. This shit is not funny.
Yeah, I know somebody that's a Howard Stern fan too, but I've never really gotten into it. I mean, some of it's been okay, funny that I've listened to, but I mean, he's gotten so woke lately. It's just gross.
Howard Stern can fuck off.
Well, yeah, dude, that's what I'm saying. He used to be the most cutting edge guy back in the 90s, and I used to love him and just what he's evolved into and the sellout, the amount of sellout that he became. It's fucking heartbreaking. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I know it's hard to see that with people like him or musicians, or it's really just it's just gross to see.
Yeah,
but I could make
it is all for money. For money. That he had more money than he knew what to do with before then.
I was hoping I could get maybe a little. If I said something bad about Howard, maybe it would get a little tit for tat going. He'd start bitching about us on his show.
No, I don't think so.
A rivalry. Joe's.
Yeah, imagine that.
So, what do you think happens with a guy like that?
One thing I wanted, I really. I'm sorry, sir. Go ahead.
What do you think happens with a guy like that then? Where he's just, you think there's just pressure for him to toe the line, to toe the narrative? Like, you think it comes down, or do you think he ends up doing it on his own?
Oh, I think Howard, dude, honestly, I think years ago they got to him. He's bumping elbows with the most, the creme de la creme elite. God knows who's gotten at him. I don't know. I don't know. He just sold out a long time ago. And, I don't know. It's sad. There's not really many rock stars left in the world today. You know what I'm saying? That keep it real. You can count them on your fucking fingers and toes, and it's sad.
Yep. You got any favorites?
Well, listen, guys, one quick question I had. You guys are all, everybody's talking about Randall Carlson tonight. That's how I got into you guys, is through Randall Carlson, all my, research on ancient civilizations and all. And you know how, like, Randall Carlson, he always refers to, like, Velikovsky and like Plato and just all these guys throughout history, that we always hear in documentaries being referred to. Do you guys ever like grasp the realization that you guys are like affiliated with a man that I think he's doing some of the most important work I think that there is possibly for us as humans to be doing? And you guys get to hang out with him and talk to him and pick his brain. And you're right there in the flesh with them. Do you guys ever realize how just how special that is, how cool that is, and that someday, Lord knows if our society makes it, say 500 years from now, that they'll be talking about Randall Carlson and Graham Hancock and Michael Cremo and Klaus Donna and guys like that.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully. I mean, that's the main reason we're sort of proud to be involved in all that work with Randall that we're trying to do, and getting Cosmographia going and doing the tours. And I mean, I was just talking about a few callers ago how I just printed out that picture for my wall of Randall and I overlooking the Potholes Cataract for that exact reason, you know, because I think that we're on the precipice of Randall Carlson and a couple of people like that, and a couple of the other players that are starting to get involved or knock on the door. We're on the precipice of some major things coming through for Randall, and I'm hoping to see that happen because he's not getting any younger. Of course, we are doing another tour with Randall in September 20th to 26th. We're going to be down there in Washington doing it all over again. I actually just got the new itinerary last night for September that I need to post this weekend. So, I mean, if anyone listening wants, and if you yourself want to come and hang out with Randall and do that, and we are going to be doing all that in just a couple of months from now.
I mean, he is a special guy, right?
It's amazing.
You can talk to him. You can talk to him about anything, and he's knowledgeable about so much. I mean, you see him doing these presentations at night at one of our events there, and he's got a bunch of PowerPoint presentations on all kinds of stuff, from the esoteric and the moon and the cathedrals and the Holy Grail and the ancient mysteries and the floods and the Younger Dryas. I mean, it's unbelievable. The guy is just a wealth of knowledge, and he's a great guy. And it would be nice. It would be nice if he got some recognition, you know, in the future.
Oh yeah, definitely, guys. And just nothing but props to you guys. Obviously, everybody, you know, loves you guys. Like I said, you guys are help promoting his word, spreading it, you know. Every day more and more people hear about it, think about it, and you just put it in perspective, man. You know, everybody, all these flood myths, I would think everybody pretty much could, you know, agree that there was a flood, and just based on the print, you know, the pyramids and the evidence that's left, there was clearly, you know, a wicked, super advanced civilization here, and then some shit happened, and it all got wiped out, and the remnants are what we find in the dust today. You know, we're just like like Randall said, we're like ants in an anthill. You know.
Yeah, we're young. We're just sort of coming back from that cataclysm still. I mean, you can sort of see it, and when you read the history books, what, you know, the First Nation accounts and everything else, it starts to become more and more apparent that we're just sort of crawling back from something.
And we don't even really have a clue about the history, really, what happened. No, we're just starting to piece together little bits.
Right. It'd be nice to live another 100 years to see what they figure out, you know?
Yeah.
Hopefully we got another 40, 50 years left to see what they do figure out.
Yeah, I think of that too. Yep, totally. Or the ability to go back in the past.
I appreciate your time. I know there's a lot of... I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I said, or the ability to go back in the past. I mean, wouldn't you love to go back to, you know, when they were building Göbekli Tepe or the pyramids, or when they were, you know, listening to these sages talk about the upcoming disaster or whatever. I mean, it would have been fantastic to see that.
Yeah, because like back then, those people, I think it was pretty clear that they knew something was coming. There was some kind of impending doom. Just, you know, but you guys know all the backstory, you know. But just a couple other things I just wanted to put out there. Just, I don't know if you guys have ever heard of him, but his name's Klaus Donna and Michael Cremo. They're, you know, the out of place artifact guys. But just anybody listening, those guys are two really good researchers to get into as well.
Yep. Thanks, buddy. That's great.
Thanks for calling.
All right, guys. Thanks for your
listening.
Time. Yeah, thanks for your time. And I just want to say I love Caitlin. Bye-bye.
Wait, who's Caitlin?
Shout out to Caitlin.
Shout out to Caitlin. That dude loves you.
Was he talking about one of the Olsen twins or something? What was he
I
talking about?
hope not. Are they little girls? I guess they're not anymore.
All right. 206 area code.
Oh, boy.
First time, long time.
No, you're not.
Third time.
What do you mean I'm not?
Third time,
Wait,
long time.
Third time, long time.
Congratulations, my brothers. I'm very proud and happy for you.
Thanks, buddy. Good to hear from you. This is Cyrus from Seattle-ish, isn't it? Or from the Pacific Coast?
You could have come and seen him, bro.
Just on the other side of the lake. Yeah, that was heartbreaking.
Yeah.
How are you, buddy? What do you want to talk about?
Well, I just want, man, we got Joe Rupe here, man.
Howdy.
His face belongs on the mountain, huh?
Which mountain? Which one are you talking about?
Sinai.
The Mount Rushmore of Grimerica.
Oh, yeah. Maybe one of these
One
days.
of my favorite guests of all time, man. I listen to the I'm a big fan of yours too.
Oh, thanks.
It's just I these two are my brothers. I was at the last contact at the cabin. Thanks, Darren. I got to fulfill one of my bucket list things and meet Randall Carlson face to face.
Yeah, no problem, man. It was fun. You locked your keys in your car. No, you actually just lost your keys altogether. Actually, they were stolen while you cooked
someone
breakfast.
stole my jacket.
Yeah. Because the caterer dropped the ball on breakfast.
I tried call. Pardon?
The caterer dropped the ball on breakfast, so Cyrus and I were cooking bacon and eggs. And he left his jacket outside. We were cooking the bacon and eggs, and someone stole it with his truck key in it.
It's all good. It was worth it, man. Yeah. Anyways, I'd like to start talking about some happy stuff, some white pill stuff. Because down here, I haven't worn a mask in anything in a week.
In a week?
And I'm just right up in a week. For last week. It was pretty bad here, you know. It's Seattle, but yeah, I gave up on it, man. I'm just like, I'm not wearing a mask anymore. Let's see how this goes, and I haven't had anyone mess with me at all.
That's great.
Well, I mean, Soap Lake was wide open. Nobody gave a fuck about anything out there. It was a fun little
As
town.
soon as you get on that side of the mountains.
It's a good side of the mountains. It's like the tracks. Seattle's on the bad side of the tracks. You gotta get the fuck out of there, bro. Sell all your shit and run.
Yeah.
It looks like Idaho's.
Yeah. As soon as you get on the other side of the mountain, it changes.
I could see in the next like 10 to 15 years, Idaho absorbing Eastern Washington, Eastern Oregon, Northeastern California, and, you know, that would be cool. Maybe Alberta.
Yeah, I'd be down for that.
I think there's a bunch of counties in Oregon and Oregon and California that are trying to pull it off already.
Yeah, I know they want to succeed, but man, it's just such a bummer how Portland's just ruining Oregon. I used to love it. I used to live down there. I used to go down there a lot, and now it's so bad. But Oregon is such a great state.
Totally, I love Oregon. Seaside's like one of my favorite places in the world.
The Trusilla guys, if they're doing a festival called the Agorgon Manifest. So people should search that. And I think it's at the end of July.
Oh yeah, I was watching the video of them at the
megaphone?
Olympic tryouts with the megaphone yelling at people for vaccine passports. It was great. I love those guys. I'm wearing the Truthzilla t-shirt right now. Fauci gave us all AIDS. That's it.
Well, guys, what do you think of your first 500 episodes?
Fantastic, dude.
Some of your most fondest memories.
Oh, it's meeting all the people, all the listeners, all the people in the community, and all the cool guests. That's my favorite part.
100%. You guys have formed one hell of a community. I'm not even involved in the chats that much anymore. I just don't have time. Because when I had that on my phone, I wouldn't get anything done. There's always people in the chats talking and hanging out and becoming, besties online or whatever. It's just, I kept finding myself trying to get back to them, talk to them. I can't. I don't have the attention span or the time to go in there. I just can't. I got stuff I got to do. But man, if you're looking for a community, it's one hell of one.
Thanks, buddy.
One hell of a good one.
Grimerica.ca/chats.
Yeah.
If you want to get in on that.
Well, I'm going to let me look at my phone here. 59. It only took me 59 tries to get in.
That's it. There you go. Never give up.
Thanks, buddy.
Never give up.
I told you.
Never give up. Never surrender.
Well, give us a wish list. Give us something before you go. What you want us to talk about in the future, like a favorite topic or something. You want us to hit something later?
Well, I'll see you in September.
Yeah. I don't know, man. For me, I'm trying to get to that white pill part of the program. I'm done because you had a caller in earlier. He was going off, and he's a fellow Canadian, and I was like, God, dude, that was me not that long ago. I was hot under the collar when this thing first started coming out, and they were saying that they were going to they were thinking about closing everything down. I was flipping out and having a freaking panic attack. I was like, no, we can't do that. We can't. I don't care if they say it's going to be 2 weeks. It's not going to be 2 weeks. It's going to be forever. You know what I mean? And I remember then, looking back on it now, so a year later, I'm tired of putting that much negative energy into my life.
Well, dude, our regular feed,
looking for the good things, the happy things.
Our regular feed has got some good stuff coming up, man. We got some more, UFO stuff coming up. We got some Ibogaine retreat stuff. Some Immaculate Conception from Mary and the secret sisterhood in the ancient past. I mean, it's
Immaculate Conception.
Yeah, dude, it's fucking gonna be.
Is this
fantastic.
why you've been going off about all these people being immaculately conceived lately?
Exactly.
Oh my god!
Cyrus, there's lots of good white pill stuff coming up. Yeah,
you should get a deer tag. We'll go shoot a deer in September.
Well, dude, I can meet you up in Idaho whenever.
We'll find out when the hunting season is.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, because, Bonner, Sandpoint, I'm still looking at the property out there.
Well, as soon as the border opens, I'm going to Silverwood, so I'll meet you there.
Oh, for sure, dude. If you call, if you bring the kids down, and your girl, just give me a call and I'll be there.
All right, brother. Sounds
I'll bring my three boys. Yeah. But yeah, man, let's bring some more magic to the world and show these people that it's real. You know what I'm saying?
You bet, buddy.
And I hope you're ready for tomorrow night, Graham. You're going to get your ass whooped.
Okay, we'll see about that.
Is this your new D&D style game you've invented?
It's the D&D, regular D&D.
Oh, I'm going to hit him so hard we're going to have to roll for another DM.
What about the game you're trying to
I love you guys.
Is it the same game?
No, it's
not. No. Oh.
Love you, buddy.
Love you, Silas.
Thanks.
Have a good night, buddy. How was your bathroom break, Joe Rupe?
Yeah, it wasn't fast enough.
No?
Know that.
That's what I
back when you get my age, you could run to the bathroom, right? And I don't know, maybe it's just me, but you start realizing the prostate doesn't work as well anymore.
The prostate? Maybe
Yeah,
if you got to massage it once in a while.
You got to have the gun.
Graham quits.
Well, 403 area code. Is this saying another 403?
Yeah, this is 403. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, we got you.
Excellent. No relation to these guys, by the way, as you can probably tell.
Yeah, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
I'm about an hour north of these guys, but originally I'm from, obviously, the UK. The name's Mark.
Mark from Alberta? Up in God's country up there?
Not originally, as you could probably tell, yeah. Originally from the UK.
How long you been in Alberta?
Been here about 10 years now. I spent 10 years down in the States. I left England in 2000.
Would you ever go back?
I do go back because I still got my mum's still there. So I go back when I can. I haven't been back for a while, as you can tell. But I'm fairly new to the show. I'm an old geezer. I'm in my 50s, so I'm a little bit not up with the technology, but you guys are teaching me. It's the first time I've ever seen Rockfin, so I'm really, I'm slowly getting into it, and I think you're doing a great job.
Oh, we appreciate that, man. We're trying really hard over here, so it's glad it comes through once in a while.
Yeah, no, it's fantastic. And I just saw that you've got an interview with Gareth Ike, so I'm going to get into that and get signed up and start sending a bit your way to keep this thing going, because I think it's really important now, and more people need to do this, You're one of the first guys that are actually open with it and are saying, look, the media, definitely mainstream media's, it's done, it's over. And if you want something else, you can take that money that you spend on that cable bill every month and start distributing it around to all these other media outlets that are out there.
Totally. We appreciate that. And of course, if you want to get any of our extra content, we've got the grimerica.ca/support for those people listening at home. And then we've got grimericaoutlaw.ca, which is a premium podcast. And then we got the Rockfin stuff, which is where we do Grimerica Goes Deep. So there's all sorts of different ways you can support.
Yeah, it's been great to. I've just gotten into your Grimerica. Now I started listening to a little bit of the Outlaw. So now I'm actually signed up on Rockfin. I'll set up an account and get in there. I was going to ask you, have you been over to the UK and seen some of the esoteric stuff and some of the? I'm a huge fan of Hancock and Randall Carlson, and that's how I managed to find you. Funnily enough.
I've never been across the pond. I hope to go one day. I do have a bit of a sore spot for the British. They did kind of make things bad over here for the Indians. But I do want to go, and we want to go do something with Randall Carlson over there, and who knows, maybe Graham Hancock.
Yeah, we were thinking of like
rumors.
A contact at the castle or the cathedral. There was a few spots maybe to hit in France, and England. I've been to England a few times, and I love it. The UK. The UK, Ireland, Scotland, England, and we're doing a Rockfin with a UK researcher in a week or two about Atlantis and stuff. So it'll be fantastic.
Okay. Yeah, I listened to the Grundy one. Was something else. It was the elderly guy you had on. Yeah, I listened to Ben Grundy. He's the Australian. Then I listened to the older Marriage. What was his name?
Edmund Marriage. Yeah, the
Marriage.
Golden Age. Yeah.
That was it. Yeah, brilliant. Yeah. Brilliant, that one. Just to go back on that subject that you said about what the British had done, just so you know, it's not just been done in Canada. They have found mass graves in residential schools and children's homes all around Europe. There's one in Jersey called Hoyt de la Grande. They dug up shackles, bodies. There's been a couple in Ireland. There's been a big one in Scotland. My mum, who's she's in her 80s now, bless her, she's got dementia, but before she had that, growing up as a kid, she was evacuated during the Second World War. And what happened was they pulled all the kids out of London and just sent them to these kids' homes, and then they went on to other people in the countryside, and there was all sorts of atrocities done. Some of my uncles would tell, I grew up listening to stories, and we all know about what's been going on in England with the politicians, with the entertainment industry. You've obviously heard of Jimmy Savile, who was the big paedophile in England. Have you heard about that guy?
Yeah, and he's connected to. I mean, you see those pictures with the royalty all the time. I mean, he seemed to be connected with the pretty high level society.
Maybe. Yeah, the guy had keys to Broadmoor Prison, which is a very high security prison for the mentally insane. I mean, who gives somebody like that the keys to Broadmoor Prison? But there you go. I mean, growing up as a kid, he was like all over the TV, and there were rumours. I've worked in the entertainment industry for some years. I don't anymore, and there were a lot of rumours about him. But I'm glad that you're getting all these people on. I will listen to the Gareth Dyke one. I was going to ask you, have you ever heard of a guy called Neil Kramer?
Yeah, we've had him on. Yep.
Excellent. Okay, I'll look for that. What did you think to Neil?
Oh, fantastic! Yeah. We had him on our old show on the
Synchronicity walks?
No, I don't think so. No, but that was on. He was on our old show there. Yeah. I want to ask you about the European / the UK part of the residential schools. So are you saying that kind of model, that model wasn't just about, let's say, indigenous kids and the whole Indian thing, but it's a model of
schools.
Yeah.
It was about residential schools in general, all over England, and even care homes. A lot of kids in the care system have been abused. There's a couple of people in England. I'm trying to think of them. They've been trying to research it and find out, where they're all at.
Yeah. If you find out any good researchers on that, let us know. We're sort of looking to do some more.
Yeah, there was
We're working on a full side project on that stuff.
Yeah, because as soon as this come out not that long ago in Kamloops, it just threw up all of those ones that I've been following over the years in Scotland, Ireland, and then Hoyt de la Grande was a big one in Jersey. That was a care home that they know for sure that some politicians went to visit. And Savile was a big visitor of these care homes and the homes where young kids were, what do they call them over there? They're like naughty boys and girls schools. Savile used to go there and handpick these kids. It's all come out.
Yeah, juvenile homes.
Another one you can... Yeah, there's that as well. But they took a lot of kids... in the Second World War, a lot of kids were taken from Liverpool and London, and they were shipped over to Australia. They were told their parents had died, and they hadn't. And they were shipped over there and put in these, I'm going to say it, they were put in these, I've nothing against, I'm not religious, but they were put in these Catholic schools, and they were seriously abused.
Yeah, that was kind of the theme here, too, for the most part. Yeah. It's
it's just disgusting, and it's certainly nothing I condone. I think it's I couldn't believe it when I found out about it. My wife is Canadian, so she told me all about the residential schools, and obviously growing up listening to the Hip and then listening to Gord Downey's albums and the film he did. Yeah, it blows my mind, to be honest. It's just So please don't think I'm anything to do with that just because I'm British.
Oh, I know you're not, sir. I know you're not. The crown, the good old crown.
Right. I've spent time in the States with some of the Native Americans down there and talking to some of them. I used to live not far from Cherokee, so I have a few friends there still to this day. So, it was great to learn about a little bit of the culture, and I understand, it's something that we should be learning more of, because, you guys, especially knowing the ancient history and looking into that, it all goes back a long way, doesn't it?
Yeah. Hey, I got a question about this whole thing. Do you think that the Catholic Church will get a little bit too much of the blame compared to the government? Because I feel like it's the government's fault more than the church, but of course the church will probably take the fall.
I honestly, I'll give you my honest opinion is I don't think anyone's going to take the fall.
Well,
because I think
yeah.
they're just going to brush it off.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Yeah.
I mean, that,
but the government should definitely pony up, and people should start to stop voting for these morons and these psychopaths. We've got to start from the ground up. I don't swing to the left or the right as far as I'm concerned. They're all fucking parasites. If I could stop paying taxes tomorrow, I would.
Yeah.
Totally.
Right on.
I agree.
Yeah, I've got no time whatsoever for all of them. Just listening to the how they want to change the schooling systems and what they're trying to bring in, and the way that society is being steered through social media, through mainstream television, and radio, even music. We're not evolving, we're devolving. And it's people like yourselves that are putting together communities that are now starting to talk about setting up your own thing and doing your own thing. It's the only way forward. Come away from the Amazons, come away from you don't need a lot of the stuff. Start building communities, start working together, start growing your own food. That's anarchy right there.
Yeah, you bet. It seems like that's going to be the only solution.
That's what they don't want.
Yeah.
So that Neil Kramer episode is no. Go ahead.
One of the things I just wanted to mention, because I don't know whether you've ever heard of this. Not many people have, but in England there's a place called Hellfire Caves. They're in a town called High Wycombe. You can look them up on the internet, and it's one of the biggest man-made caves, and it was owned by I'm trying to think of the guy's name now, but parties and orgies, and they used to think satanic rituals down there, and you can go down and see them. Like it's not really a visitor centre, but it's open all the time. But not many people talk about that as far as esoteric stuff goes. But it's around that area, just outside of England. High Wycombe is the name of the place, and they're called Hellfire Caves. And very interesting place. A lot of weird stuff used to go on around there.
When were they supposedly made?
I think it was. I've got to look it up. Was it the 1700s or something like that? I think they were dug out. They're one of the deep. I think they're one of the. What does it say in there? I can't remember. I'd have to pull it up. But it said something about one of the biggest man-made caves for that kind of ritual. Back then.
Yeah.
Looks like you can even drive cars and shit down there.
That's fascinating. Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, it's not quite as big as the underground bases, but a lot of esoteric stuff went on down there, they think, and it was all part of the Hellfire Club, which I do believe the guy that ran it. I'd have to look it up. I think his name. I don't know. Let's see if I can pull it up quick. Benjamin Franklin was his friend. But the guy that ran it was, or had him built, I can't see it again. But he was quite a well-to-do guy of his day. Here he is, Sir Francis Dashwood. There you go, whoever he was. But yeah, it's been going on for years in England. It's been going on for years. Another name I would drop from England. We used to have a show called Crime Watch. It was a live show. And people would ring up with all kinds of different crimes that were going on. There was a lady on there called Jill Dando. Funnily enough, she looked very similar to Princess Diana. Worked for the BBC, obviously. She was murdered on her own doorstep in broad daylight, and they've never found the killer. And they think it was because she got too close to a paedophile ring.
Wow. Yeah, that's fascinating. We'll keep an eye and an ear open for those.
And I'll try and get to grips with all this technology. I don't want to keep you because there's lots of people wanting to ring, but I just wanted to thank you for, I'm very new to the show. I think I've only had 2 or 3 episodes. I'm gripped by it. I'll settle this up over the next couple of days. I'm about an hour north of you guys, and I'm in Cowtown quite a bit, so you never know. One day I might bump into you in the street. If I do, I'll certainly buy you a beer, but I'll try and buy you a beer through this.
Thanks, buddy. Yeah,
Sounds
if you're
good.
local, send me an email. I want to try and keep track of some of the local friends of the show.
When the shit goes down.
Yeah,
Yeah,
when we have
sure.
barbecues and stuff like that, we can have a bunch of local people over to meet everybody in person. So.
No, it's absolutely fantastic what you do. And if I can just say one more thing, is that people who are listening to this, you've got to support people like these guys here. You know, drop your cable, get rid of it. That money you're spending, start spending it on shows like this and start supporting, because it's the only way they're going to get bigger.
Yeah,
so
you're
thanks
right.
a lot, guys.
Yeah.
You've
Thanks,
got
buddy.
my support, and I'll be sending something in.
Thanks a lot.
Big love to you both.
Okay.
And
231 is Neil Kramer.
Maybe see you around.
Oh yeah, that's what it was. Yeah,
231.
Neil Kramer.
231.
That's that far ago. It was
4.5 years ago.
Over half.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it feels like that was only a couple years ago.
What number was it again with Neil Kramer? What number was it? Sorry.
231.
231. Okay, I'll go and listen to that tonight. Thank you
Right
very
on, buddy.
much for what you
Okay.
do. Take
Okay,
care
thanks.
and look after yourselves. All right.
Okay, you too.
Go steady. Bye bye.
Okay, bye.
Boo. Wow, just nonstop.
Dude,
Nonstop.
we should play
barrage.
some of these. We should play some of these voicemails, right?
Oh my God, there's voicemails.
Yeah, all the people that didn't get through, just some of them, right?
Have you listened to
Please.
Or are you just going straight to this? Could just be anything.
You doing this cold?
Motherfucking ass.
I don't think the calls are. I don't know if they're gonna stop. Honestly, 780 area code. You're on the air with Grimerica.
I'm known as Jasper Paul. Congratulations on your 500th episode.
Thanks, brother. Thanks for all the Rockfin tips.
Now, Joe, you're the reason I got into magic. Gave it a try. Growing a Catholic boy, I didn't really understand it.
Yes, another converted Catholic.
The Golden Dawn has stolen a lot of Catholicism by the looks of it.
Right.
And it's rituals I've been doing for about a year and a half now, and it's centering me and bringing me kind of enlightened new beginnings, we'll say.
Did you have some good luck in the beginning with it? Did you have any experiences or beginner's luck or energetic experiences?
Yeah, it calmed me a great deal. It started to do things that I didn't expect right away. It was testing me. Things were testing me on fear, and I would recognize it right away, and it would go away right away. It was quite enlightening.
Yeah, you'll start to see more of those tests until you actually break through them, and then it feels like the chaos just goes away. Like it's almost like, oh, it was just a big joke. We just wanted to see.
Yeah, I'm right there now.
Yeah, that's good. That's really good.
That's good. I can see you're getting a little bored with a lot of the calls. You're going dark there in your video.
Oh no, that's just it's going dark here in Arizona. I probably just need to turn on the light.
The sun's gone down in Arizona.
Oh,
it's still bright here, but it's cloudy as fuck.
Yeah.
It's raining here.
It's been raining all damn day here.
Yeah. I won't keep you. The calls are kind of long, so I know everybody's trying to call in. Just want to say thank you for opening my third eye, and keep it up.
Paul, thanks for your support, buddy. Thanks for your support. You've been one of the biggest supporters of ours, and we really appreciate you.
Well, and IU. Keep it up, guys.
Yeah, thanks, buddy.
Can't say enough.
Thanks.
All right, thank you.
All right, Paul.
Joe, Paul bought us that book that's on the right of Darren, to the right of Darren there. I think we talked about it before, actually. Yeah, after your episode. Yeah, it was a couple episodes.
Edition.
Yeah, a couple episodes of yours that really triggered that. So, thanks.
No, you're more than welcome. 951 area code. You're on the air with Grimerica. Who are you speaking with?
I'm 5'1".
Hold on. Go ahead. Who are we speaking with? Couldn't hear you.
Sorry, this is Steve, show back from the chats.
Hey, Steve. How's it going, buddy? Another big supporter. Thanks for all the support.
It's going really good, man. How you guys doing?
Pretty good. Thanks for calling.
Congratulations on 500 episodes. That's a lot of podcasting.
Thanks, buddy.
It is a lot. Imagine it's a lot.
Showback's Canadian, right?
No. Sandia, Southern California.
Really? No. I thought, for some reason, I thought Canadian.
He's a Marine.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah.
No. Nope, I'm a sailor. But...
So sailor. Hovercraft sailor.
Yeah. So my physical therapist actually recommended I listen to Grimerica, and he started me off with the Industrial Future in Society.
Wow.
So I got to listen to Graham go on for like 4 hours. So it was, that hooked me, and then I went back and listened to the Damien Eccles episode and been hooked since. So I have only been listening since last September.
It's one of our most controversial episodes inside the podcast community. Actually, and outside too, but more inside. We got more flack from other podcasters about that episode than fucking I ever even thought possible. I still get flack for that. Not that I give a fuck, but it's funny.
Yeah.
Thanks, Graham.
Actually, heard about Eccles, like Henry Rollins did a Black Flag tribute album in honor of the West Memphis Three, and Michael Graves from the Misfits did an album with them. So kind of had them in my periphery for a while, and it was pretty cool that you guys did an interview with them. I don't have a thought on the matter either way. I thought it was a good interview. So.
Yeah, exactly. Have you got his books at all? Have you read his books?
No. I don't know. Maybe one day I'll get into it. Like, my life's kind of busy right now, so I don't like that magic stuff. Seems like it takes a lot of energy and focus. So I don't want to half-ass it. So
this is a lot of work.
Joe, is there a way to dip your toe in without using too much energy and work?
Well, yeah. I mean, you don't have to do ritual magic. You can just jump right into sigil magic and pick up a chaos magic book and skip the whole thing. You don't have to do all that.
Or you could just do his book is pretty. Eccles' book.
You talking about Damien Eccles'
Well,
book?
yeah. I mean, I think he's just talking about in general. It seems like a lot of work, but I mean, there is just some simple breath work and stuff you could start with as well. Just really bringing in the energy and.
Yeah. I mean, we're gonna be putting some of that stuff on Lighting the Void too. I'm gonna try to shrink some of it down and make it all guided. But
the best place to find that out to learn would be at fucking Contact at the Cabin Magic on the Mountain. I mean, let's be real.
Yeah. I mean, the best way, I think what bothers, if you pick up that Golden Dawn book and you start going through it, you're like, yeah, this is a lot. But, I mean, it's going to scare anybody, but you don't have to do that. Like, you don't have to do that at all. Once you understand the fundamentals of magic, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, I mean that's the magic stuff. Like I'm really interested in, and then older stuff. Really, I really love listening to that. And then Outlaw, I really love the Outlaw stuff. And if you're not signed up for Plus, you're missing out on a lot of good content.
Thanks, buddy. Actually, we've been getting a lot of great feedback on Outlawed. People have really been eating it up.
That's good. We had Travis on today, I think.
Yep. Travis
on today, but the episode came out last night.
Yeah.
Yeah, I listened to that, doing my exercise, and man, it's really interesting. Like I was kind of into that before, like the Sovereign Citizen, allodial title, like Treaty of Paris, Alberta law, all that stuff. It's really interesting, but you got to remember that the government owns the court, so you're kind of not going to be able to do much. It's cool to try, but at the end of the day, you're still fighting the government, and the government's going to win.
Yep, pretty much.
So
until we take the power back.
You just got to remember there's more of us than there is of them. So just too bad a lot of us are not looking in the right direction, I guess. I don't know.
That's a good way to put it.
We'll get there. We'll all get there in time. Hopefully it's not too late.
Yeah. And I'd love to give you a Southern California COVID report.
Oh, yeah. Let's hear it. Open for business.
I live in Riverside County. So, like, Temecula is, like, Southern Riverside border San Diego County. So they did, like, the 2 weeks to flatten the curve, and, like, they have a place called Old Town Temecula. It's, like, bars and restaurants. They've been open since the 2 weeks to flatten the curve. Like, essentially, like, there's still people wearing masks, but most of the bars, no masks. Like, it was essentially wide open this whole time. Once you get away from that area, like, a lot of it was locked down. I've been outside every day. I've been to work every day. My life essentially didn't change that much, except there was less traffic. Masks are everywhere. California lifted the mask mandate on the 16th if you're vaccinated, but the way you can tell someone's vaccinated is because they're still wearing their mask. So essentially, I'm assuming most people not wearing a mask are probably not vaccinated, so it's a win there.
How weird is that, eh?
I know I got a picture from Greg Carlwood out with his mask off in San Diego for the first time in a while. And he was like, well, technically, I don't have the shot.
I just stopped.
Who's going to ask?
Yeah. I haven't worn a mask in a long time. At work, I'm forced to wear one, but, you know, it's only when I'm transiting inside a building. Otherwise, A, no one's going to tell me anything, and B, like, it's not a big deal.
Wow, you just hung up.
Huh.
Thanks for calling in, Shell. Thanks for all the support. Who's next, Joe? We're almost through this. We got like another 45 minutes.
How long is this show?
It's like, well, it was slated as 4 hours. I was expecting.
Who made that? Who decided that?
Well, I was expecting the calls to fall off by then. You know, we could just be like, okay, no one's calling. We'll shut it down.
He told me that today. He's like, well, it might be like 4 hours. I'm like, what? 4 hours? I got stuff to do.
Hello, gentlemen.
So, 403 area code.
403. That's getting close to home.
I'm a 403 guy. Hey, I love you guys. Graham, Darren, I don't know if you remember forever ago, I met you guys in Calgary when Darren lived in this place. When I think it was one of the first times that Randall came up to visit you guys. I'm David, like Raven.
Oh yeah, David. Yeah.
Like
I was
Raven.
thinking about you the other day because you brought a set of basically platonic solid dice.
D&D dice.
Yep.
Yes,
You'll have those here somewhere.
Hilarious. I wasn't going to say it because I didn't want to be, presumptuous, but I was like, I think I might have given Graham his first set of D&D dice, but you must have played before, though, back in the day, right? Like,
dude, I dug up my 35, 40-year-old little dice from back in the 80s. I still have it. Yeah. But, you inspired something.
I was trying to get... Sorry, what's that?
No, I said, but you inspired something because I've been rolling dice a lot since then.
Too much.
Yeah, well, they feel so good. Well, and like, I don't know if you guys remember, I said when we were hanging out around the fire, I joked, I said, with D&D, because I grew up, it wasn't like a harsh Christian household, but Lutherans, the devil, blah, blah, blah. So, no, D&D was bad. And I joked, I said that night with Randall there, I was like, well, it's because, you didn't want to teach about the Platonic solids. Like, God forbid, that is the devil's game. We don't want to teach our kids about geometry. There's nothing about geometry in the Bible. Like,
how have you been hanging during the pandemic down there? You must have been hopefully fairly unaffected.
Yeah, I'm like the rest of you guys here. We're like in Lethbridge. It's the same. It's weird, we haven't heard many reports about tickets here down here. I think a lot of the cops don't agree with it too. I don't know, man. It's awkward. The masks. My biggest worry going forward is that this whole now that, and it's shocking to me. Sorry to get onto the vid train, but it's shocking to me that. I realized it once I saw good old communist CBC telling us that we are the first province to go with opening up. And I mean, Florida has been open for so long. And my worry is it's just for the stampede, right? I'm going to clear up the stampede and then everything will be nice. Right when everyone goes back to school and everyone gets a sniffle, then it's going to be back to the same baloney. But, I don't know. I just... we're all no agenda guys in the morning, and this, I just like Dvorak says, it's just, is this a test run? What's this a test run for? But I don't want to get this banned. So let's talk about Sunshine Rock. I planted a garden. Are you guys? I would love to come out and visit you. And I wanted to get in right after Cyrus because I would love to come out and hunt with you, Darren. And I don't have my license, so I'll like Graham, I'll just have to sit back and wait and just be some muscle. But with everything that's going on, I feel exactly the way Darren's been going. Like, I have family that's agricultural, and man, I want to lean into that. Just if things get too even crazier, if there's another wave of insanity, it just makes me want to, run away to the hills, run away.
Well, I shot all my deer down by Travers, so that's only that can't be far from you. It's definitely closer to you than it is to me. So we'll figure something out.
Yeah. But how are you, you guys, Darren, I don't know, I've heard about all the stories about you traveling. I've listened to you guys forever. I think I mentioned to you when I saw you guys in person a lot of times. Sometimes I'll just listen to you guys talk to check in on how you guys are doing. And it seems like you're you've pushed. And I know a lot of guys, I felt embarrassed, honestly. Right before the COVID hit, I started going to a gym in town and doing the jiu-jitsu thing. And the other day, and I never wear the T-shirt from that gym when I go out with a mask on because some of those folks actually in the gym here pushed back locally. They went to City Hall and, they weren't happy about the restrictions. And then I saw one of the guys from the gym and he wasn't wearing a mask. And I was just so glad I wasn't wearing the T-shirt from the gym because there are a lot of people out there for whatever reason that are braver than I am. I just feel like when I go out and put the mask on, I have to, because if someone gives me shit, I'm so worried I'm going to blow up. And, I don't know how many other folks feel that way. It's a weird sort of complicity that they've established over all of us. This whole thing, as we all know, has just been a crazy psyop. And that's definitely not where I wanted to go with this conversation. I wanted to congratulate you guys on 500 and thank you for the opportunity to meet Randall Carlson, because that was an amazing moment in my life, and wish you guys the best.
Yeah,
Thanks.
man, it's great to hear from you. Every once in a while, it's thinking
we'll
about
have to get you up here for one of the barbecues. We've been doing the barbecues.
Definitely email me too. I want to keep track of all the local peeps around here, not in a bad way, but just in a be able to meet up way, not like in a track and trace way.
It's one of the things too. Also, I'm sure you guys have caught on to. There's this impression that they want to keep us apart because they don't want us to talk, and they don't like. You look at whatever happened, good or bad, whatever happened with the founding fathers. It was all in establishments, right? It was all off the radar when people worked on freedom, and that's like they say the tree of liberty. Tree of Liberty, watered by the blood of patriots, yada yada. As rough as it is, it's true, because evil will never die, but good always wins. So
I agree. Sometimes it takes a little longer.
Take care, guys.
You too, David. Thanks
David.
for calling.
Good to hear from you, buddy.
Love you guys. Take care. Have a good night. We're going to see each other soon, finally. And I honestly feel bad. I've never financially contributed to you guys, and so I hope I gave you a little bit of content. But we'll work on that other part.
You betcha.
Take care.
That's
Thanks,
not
buddy.
true. Your wife
No worries.
donated on your behalf before.
Yes, I think maybe. Well, that's my life. Sweet, guys.
Thanks,
See you,
David.
buddy.
Have a good weekend. Are we out of callers yet, Joe Rupe?
I don't know.
Hey, where's those dice? I'd like to.
I think they might be up on top there.
Okay, I'm gonna look for those dice. Are they still in a container or something? Do you know?
No.
Is it? So looks like you got 443 area code on the air.
443.
443.
Yeah, 443.
8443.
Hey guys, Bill here. How you doing?
Hey, Bill.
Hey, Bill. How's it going, Bill the Shill?
Just wanted to say congratulations. 500 is a big milestone.
Thanks, buddy.
I was going to set off some fireworks here, but getting a little late. I'm going to give the neighbors a break.
I figured you're calling from a bar in Florida or something like that.
Not this time.
I'm actually surprised you're not in Florida.
Maybe next time. I'll be back down there pretty soon.
Totally. Are you going to come out in September or what?
Looking at that, looking at Stampede, maybe that's a difficult trip to pull off, but I don't know. Be at one of the next ones for sure.
I could hire you for my Exo Energy company, and maybe we could have a business meeting.
Yeah, I do need some cards. Yeah, send me a PDF with the card format there. We'll get that fixed up.
All right. Sounds good.
All right, well, I'm going to let some other people in. Just want to say congratulations, and I'll talk to you guys soon.
Thanks, Bill. Thanks for
all the
being there for
support.
so long.
See you guys.
See ya.
Sorry, I should have muted that.
Oh, Joe, that's okay. It's a nice sound.
It is a nice sound.
Not the usual phone lines I use, man. I'm telling you, I got some good. Listen, you guys got to stop having so many freaking listeners, man. Are we just gonna keep this rolling till we black out, or what?
Hello?
If that's what's gonna happen, we got to take a break. Hello?
Sorry, I've been trying to call in a couple of times. I keep going to messages. I've been really wanting to talk to you guys about how non-Euclidean geometry has been really damaging to kids. We've been teaching it in schools for a while. Mathematician Euclid was destined to unalign all of our chakras. And so he's been, this geometry has been pushed to really hurt our kids. And I'm really worried as to what that's going to do for the future generation. My kids right now, they're 8 and 14. And my 14-year-old, his name is Rob. He's starting to ask questions about non-Euclidean geometry. And
what?
It hurt too much for me to tell him about it.
Non-Euclidean.
I can't let. I don't know how to protect him from this stuff. Non-Euclidean geometry.
Yeah,
the Greek mathematician Euclid.
Yeah, explain that a little bit to us.
Okay, so Euclid, back in his day, was destined to unalign our chakras. He really hated the peace that was going on in Athens at the time and the increase in intelligence that was happening. I mean, Athens was the monolith for all of math. So much of math was improved in Athens, but Euclid hated that. He was jealous, and so he made up this complete bull honky, pardon my language, set of geometry called the non-Euclidean solids. And the non-Euclidean geometry is really damaging for kids, and this is not something that they should be learning about.
Give us an example of one of them.
Well, I'm really worried. My son opened up to me very recently. My son Rob, the 14-year-old, recently opened up about his first. I'm sorry, I'm getting really emotional about his first homosexual experience, and that really hurt. And I know that came from him learning about Euclidean geometry. It's really scary. I don't know what to do.
Well,
I have this huge nest egg for him. I have it all invested in Bitcoin. It's going to go to the moon. And I really wanted to have it, but I can't support his lifestyle. And I know that this is coming from the math that he's learning.
I'm not touching this one.
I'm not going near that one either.
Good move.
That
Next call.
I couldn't see that. Was that a real call?
I don't think so.
No, it was a troll.
No, it was a troll.
Yeah. It was a good one, though.
It was a good
loved
one.
it. I mean,
I couldn't even ask
non-Euclidean
if it was a
geometry is
prank call,
pretty scary,
'cause
dude.
I felt like if I'd have asked a question, I would have offended him. It's pretty good. 503 area code. You're on the Earth Grow America.
Awesome! Hi, this is Skanky Owlet.
Hey, Skanky, how's it going?
Oh.
Pretty good. How are you guys?
Not too bad. Pretty good.
It's been a pretty good calling night. We managed to go like 3 hours before we got our first troll. Last time we tried this, we had like 7 trolls.
Yeah! Yeah, it's been a really good show so far. I'm coming to Arizona in February, and I can't wait.
Oh, that's great.
Totally. And you guys are coming. You guys are coming back to Utah too, aren't you?
If all goes well, then yes. I'm trying not to work this year, so it's like I have to figure out where that money's going to come from, but should be okay.
What
That's pretty much all I had to say. Oh.
These awkward pauses are getting more awkward each time.
It's the time. It's the delay too in the timing, so we both talk at the same time. Well, what are some of your favorite topics and stuff that we talk about?
I mean, I love it all pretty much.
That's what she said.
I mean, I love all the magic stuff. I love all the intention stuff. Yeah, it's great. I mean, so CAC in Utah was amazing. And I've been doing breath work since we got back pretty much every day. I've only skipped like 7 days total in like 2 months, which is great. And so, yeah, it's that's probably the stuff I love the most, but I love the rest of it too. Like UFOs, Bigfoot. That's how I originally found Gray America, was to search Bigfoot into the iPod, whatever podcast thing. And like, I think it brought up a Fandango. So the first one I listened to was a Fandango, and I was very confused. But I really enjoyed Felix's Christmas jingle, and it happened to be Christmas time when I listened to that. It was like a couple years after. And so I gave you guys another shot, even though the Fandango confused me so much. And now I'm hooked.
Right on. Hey, how is the breath work?
I love all of your topics.
How's the breath work going? Have you noticed any differences in like, are you were you looking to change something, or how are you following sort of Brandon Powell's method?
Yeah, I am. I have some recordings I listen to help me stick with the rhythm. But yeah, I'm pretty much trying to like replicate the rhythm that he had us going into. Although I'm also taking like an online course in breathwork with a like yoga hippie kind of guy. And so I'm learning a little bit of stuff from that that's similar, and I love to see the overlaps of them.
Yep.
So yeah, and I do think, I mean, for me, I don't really like tap into the other world very much. Like, I don't have visions or see ghosts or like have UFO experiences really. Like, the biggest one was seeing the flash bulbs at CAC. And like, I heard a like person say meow in my house once. But other than that, I don't really have like experiences where I tap into that. But the breath work I feel like brings up energy, feelings, and I feel like I can tap into things more that way. So I really like it for that.
What about like focus?
I haven't gotten any visions from it yet.
What about just focus and sort of mindfulness
definitely.
kind of thing?
Yeah, it helps with like if I'm having a lot of thoughts, you know, it really does help me to kind of just focus on my body and kind of clear those thoughts out of my head a little bit, not entirely. And I've done it a few different ways where I'll just start doing it and not really have an intention or anything, and just be like, whatever can come up, can come up. And then other times I'll do it and I'll have a specific intention about what I want out of the session. And I feel like it works kind of both ways. And yeah, I mean, it's so variable, my response, because sometimes I'll just end up crying, and that's great. And other times I'll like be generating ideas. And so I highly recommend it to everyone.
Awesome.
Totally.
That's that's basically Brandon Powell's method using Wim Hof's sort of breathwork practice.
Which we'll be doing more of in Arizona.
Yeah. And in Magic of the Mountain.
Yeah. Well, that is Arizona.
Oh, yeah. Right.
Good one.
Sorry. Yeah. And I thought you meant Utah, too.
I know what you thought.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Right on. Well, thanks for calling in, Skank. Skanky Owlet.
Yeah. I do go by Kate. When we meet in person, that's how I'll introduce myself. But
I always get a kick of your name.
all right, it was
in
really
the
awesome
chats.
to talk to you guys.
Have a good night.
I love you so much.
All right. Love you too. Thanks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
See if you can get my kids in before we go, Joe.
What's the area code?
403.
403.
All right.
Unless they might have given up. I mean, it has been 3 hours.
I think they might have left a voicemail. I don't know.
Joe, this has been great. You've been doing a good job there with the phones. And I mean, oh my God, this is like
You're hired.
Yeah.
I could do this for a living, right? Just screen calls, you know?
Well, you did let the one guy through.
What, the
and then you just threw your hands up.
You talking the Euclidean dude?
Yeah.
That threw me off for a second.
I like how we're all just speechless.
That was the best troll ever.
775 area code. You're on the air with Grow America.
Hello?
Hi.
Howdy.
Hey, how you doing? I want to say happy 500, guys. I'm really proud. I've been watching since I think 360, probably somewhere along that. So congratulations, big rap. Anyway, there's just been some stuff rolling around in my brain. I just want to get off my chest. Personally, what do you guys think about the Hunter Biden emails? Because personally, I think the shit that he's talking about, like the Think coin, is a bit fucking crazy. And honestly, I think it's going to change a lot in the United States. And if you can tell the guy on the left to close his door, it's making me really anxious, actually. The guy on the left, he needs to close his door.
Is this
Joe?
Sorry, I accidentally hung up on you. 902 area code. You're on the air. Who are we speaking with?
Wouldn't that be weird if that dude came through the open door?
Dude, that would wig me out. I'd probably punch him.
All of a sudden, the head peeks around the door.
What's up, Steve?
Just calling from Nova Scotia. Long-time listener. Probably one of the older ones. I found these two clowns. I forget if it was one or both of them were on Micah Hanks' show.
Oh, wow. Going way back.
When they were first starting the podcast out. And I said, Grimerica, what the hell does that mean?
That's exactly what I said. What does that mean?
Yeah, what the hell does that mean?
Yeah.
I figured it was going to be some crazy, right-wing American show or something. And
it was a crazy right-wing Canadian show.
Yeah, even better. I can't thank you guys enough for all the work you put in over these 500 episodes. I was a religious listener till about a little over a year ago, and I just went through a lot of shit in my life. Got a lot of health issues, lost my career, then got handed divorce papers because the wife found somebody 20 years younger than me. And so life's been kind of flipped upside down. I'm just getting back, trying to find some things that give me some stability in life. So I saw the feed go by on Facebook today. I was like, I got to at least try to get in, but I only got a phone, so I can't listen while I called. So I finally said, screw it, I'm going to try and just pester Joe with 20 or 30 rings here and see if I can get him to pick it up. And it only took me 18, I think, so that was pretty good.
Perfect.
Very impressed.
Well, we're glad you got
telling you,
through.
man, this is just like a primetime radio show. That's how many times you got to call those people too. You know,
we're humbled by how many people tried to get in, and all the people who have, gone through so much while listening to the show. I mean, we've gone through a ton too behind the scenes. The whole time it's been a fucking railroad over here too. Believe me.
Yeah, well, my life's been turned upside down. I mean, everything I worked for is gone. I'm living on a crappy CPP. I went from making 50, 60K a year for 30 years to making 15,000, and my scumbag ex-wife got the house and then didn't make the payments on the house, and the house got confiscated by the bank. Yeah, lost everything. But kind of sort of starting out. At least I had my grandparents' old flat at my mother's house, so I'm for the first time in my life living in an apartment and trying to deal with all the life changes. But
so all of this stuff, man, just happened to you recently?
Over the last 3 years, yeah. I've had a lot of weird health problems for I complained to doctors for 30 years that there was something wrong with me. Graham, you could probably relate to this with some of the problems your girlfriend's had.
Yeah.
And they finally diagnosed me with this ridiculous illness called sarcoidosis that I'd never heard of before. That they thought I had. They basically told me I had lung cancer because that's how bad my lungs looked. And anyway, that's one of those diseases. There's almost no support for it here in Canada. And sort of had to medicate myself. RSO oil for 12 months kind of knocked the flare-up down, but it took away everything, caused all kinds of other weird related problems. And that was something I'd always hoped you guys might be able to do a show on someday, is these weird autoimmune diseases that people just seem to develop, and they can't tell me how I got it or where I got it. But I mean, I fixed photocopiers 30 years, breathed in all that shit. I was restored cars for a hobby, so I've been welding for 30 years. Just, you think you're 20 years old forever, and all of a sudden, like, I'm probably one of your older listeners too. I'll be 60 in 3 years, so I don't know how many other old farts like me
guys like
get off and listening to you guys.
Guys like Dr. Frank Ietta. Guys like Dr. Frank Ietta have been having some luck with some of that autoimmune stuff. Frank Ietta, John Brisson.
Yeah, Brisson's the one. Yeah, he's good.
Yeah, I remember some of the episodes with him.
But I think Nikki's older than you too.
James.
You're not the oldest listener, if it helps.
Oh yeah.
So
I feel like I'm 85 most days. So
check out our outlawed feed. I think 2 episodes ago, Dr. Frank Ietta was on, and he's a naturopathic doctor, and we talked about some of the autoimmune stuff and how you might not be able to get rid of it completely, but you can definitely lessen the expression of the genetic part of the disorder or whatever it is. Like he does. There is some things that might be able to help. So.
Yeah, it's been a really bizarre journey because, I knew there was something wrong with me for years, and all I got told by doctors was I was fat and I was lazy and you don't have the energy to do anything about it yourself. You're useless. I heard it all right to my face with doctors, and going gluten-free started feeling a bit better, and I did that before I was diagnosed and dropped 60 pounds in 3 months, but I just stopped eating bread.
Yeah.
And but the RSO helped quite a bit. I was able to get it locally here in Halifax till the HRM police decided to raid the pot shop last year. And
really?
So that, yeah. Oh, God forbid they were selling, and you had to have medical papers. You had to have a doctor's consent to get it, even though weed was legal. and they still shut the goddamn place down. And it was somebody who had actually worked with, because Rick Simpson's originally from Nova Scotia, and it was somebody who had actually worked with him. So this guy was making them in capsules. It was, it's the best I felt in 20 years, and then gone. You know, so that kind of kicked me off my stool a little bit too. But you know,
well, hopefully you can get back up.
Yeah, I got to figure out a way to get it. I just don't have the capability to make it myself or to buy it in quantities to make it. But it really helps just about everything. Like everything that feels lousy felt a little bit better when I took the oil before bed every night, and including sleeping better too.
It's just sad how this is what the Canadian healthcare system is now, right? You know, something that makes you feel better, that's not giving you a bunch of side effects, and you know is busted, and it's just disgusting what's happening.
Yeah, it absolutely is. It just sickens me, you know. And they're just so gung ho. Nova Scotia is a horrible place to be. It's been an awful place to be during this whole COVID bullshit. The lockdowns. We weren't allowed to travel between different counties up until just 2 weeks ago. I think they lifted that. Wow. You cannot go in a store here without a mask, or you'll be out on your ass, and you'll be charged with trespassing if you try to go back again. So, like with my lung problems, I have a really hard time wearing a mask. I could probably get an exemption from my doctor, but it's not worth the argument and getting thrown out of Sobeys and not being able to go back and buy groceries again. You know,
yeah.
I just hate it. Everybody in my family has gotten vaccinated and thinks it's the greatest thing since sliced bread, and I'm just sitting here shaking my head, going, you know, because it was funny. I when the bird flu, I think it was about 8 or so years ago, came out, got conned into that one by my ex-wife, getting that vaccination for that, and that's when the flare-up with the sarcoid really started to come back to life, and I just started going downhill after that, and I can't even change, like I can't take any new medications now without my body going wonky and causing all kinds of problems. So there's no way in hell I'm taking that friggin' poisonous thing and what it could do to me. And it's good to hear like-minded voices, listen to a podcast and hear what I consider to be some of the sanest voices in the country, and with a good sense of humor in there. I really need the humor aspect back into my life, and you guys were always generous with that. Hey, I'm one of the original listeners to the first the mushroom episodes.
Oh my God!
I remember
yeah,
those. Those are cool.
Mushroom epilogues.
Yeah. Man. Speaking of the, you know, like the jab and your condition there, and don't forget in the papers, in their official documents, like you got something to stand on, because it says it doesn't work the same for immunosuppressed people and people with immuno conditions. So, you know, it's right in there. Like, hey, you got to be careful with that thing. So,
I'm more scared of the vaccination than I am of getting COVID.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, I'd rather give me the goddamn COVID. If it kills me, it kills me. I don't really care. You know, but I'm not going to accidentally kill myself by taking some stupid friggin' toxic mess. You know, when they spend 5-6 years to typically design vaccines that are supposedly relatively safe, I think in hell I'm going to take a vaccine that was just really released with
it's still experimental.
You know?
Yeah, it's experimental.
Oh yeah, and it's going to be they're going to have all these new variants coming up every year, and it's going to be a new shot every year. It's going to be a rolling thing. It's never going to stop. That's my opinion of it. But
it's never going to stop.
And they're just so sheepish here in Nova Scotia. It's awful.
Yeah.
People fighting each other, and people phoning the cops and ratting each other out because they were having people in their house. You know, somebody called 911 on a restaurant that said they had illegal customers in there, and the cops show up to raid this. I think it was a Tim Hortons actually, and they were all the mannequins that the manager had put in the seats so people wouldn't use them. And they had masks on the mannequins, and the cops, RCMP shows up to raid this bloody place for some mannequins. Like, that's how ridiculous it's gotten. People just ratting on each other. It's sickening. I don't want anything to do with society almost anymore. I wasn't too fond of it to start with for the last few decades, but this nonsense has really pushed me over the edge and not wanting to have anything to do with anybody.
Wow, I know what you mean, dude. That's crazy. I mean, I feel pretty grateful to be in Alberta right now. I mean, we're pretty, there's no ratting each other out here, at least anyways. But I'm still, I know what you mean about the society, dude. This is the time I just want to stay at home, really. For the first time in my life.
If I had the money and the ways and the means, I'd be in Alberta as soon as I could.
Some of you people in the YouTube chat are ruthless, man. Jesus. All right. Well, sorry, I just had to say that. Like,
I don't pay attention to the YouTube chat, son. You can't watch
ruthless
the YouTube
bastards,
chat,
man. You know,
they're getting pissy because they can't get through, or
probably. I don't know. Well, man, try to keep your head up.
Yeah.
Like, we're all rooting for you.
Yeah.
You can always get another. Hey,
not to leave you.
You can always get another wife.
Joe, my wife's gonna want me. Guy living on $14,000 a year, and living in his grandma's apartment, and oh god,
Mexico, Russia, Chinese, Filipino. You got it. You're good. American women, I don't know, but
I haven't dated a white woman for 30-some years. Actually, my wife and my few previous girlfriends were all Native American, so maybe I should try something white. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
change look.
Things eventually got to get better, and
that's right.
Lighting the Void and Grimerica were my two top go-to podcasts for so long, and I just wanted to really thank all you guys, all three of you, for everything you've done, and for helping get Randall out on his own podcast now. I saw it, and I haven't listened to any episodes yet, but I just absolutely loved all those extra long episodes you guys did with Randall. And if I ever win the lottery, I'm telling you, Grimerica is going to be getting a big fat check, and I'll be attending every goddamn contact in the cabin there is.
Well, we hope you do.
Right on, buddy. Yeah. Thanks, man. And yeah, I hope you're doing okay, and keep in touch. Like, send us an email or keep in touch if you ever need to vent or chat or whatever.
Hopefully you have a better 2021, sir. Thanks for calling.
I appreciate it, guys. And again, keep up the great work. And thank you so much for all the years of all the fantastic information and entertainment that you guys have provided for me and thousands of other folks. And same goes to you too, Joe. Loved Into the Void. And how's Reverend Dan doing? Quick before I go,
He's doing it. He's still
with
kicking.
us, or is he?
You can't hold that guy down. Yeah, he's still kicking. He's still doing great.
Oh, that's so good to hear. That's so good to hear. I only saw you have a few episodes on YouTube or on iTunes now, so I'll get caught up on what's up there. But that's awesome to hear he's doing good. Thank you so much, guys. I'm sorry.
Thanks, buddy. What was your name again?
Just wanted to say I love you, Steve.
Nova Scotia. Right. Thanks,
Windsor,
Steve.
Nova Scotia.
Thanks, buddy.
Thanks, Steve. Have a good weekend.
Okay, guys. Take
See
care.
You,
love you.
Take care. Love you.
I will start winding this thing down. Are my kids still calling, Joe?
No. What? I mean, it looks like they are trying. Yeah, last one was 8:26. I got an 8:01 coming through right now.
Wow.
It ain't stopping, I'm telling you guys, man. Like, this is going to be one of those marathon shows.
It's just never going to stop, you think?
I don't think it's going to stop.
Man.
801, you're on the air with Grimerica. Who are we speaking with?
Hello. Hi, my name's Barry. Who's this?
This is Grimerica.
Okay, sick. It's cool to see that you guys are on your 500th episode. That's dope.
Thanks.
Yeah, of course, man. I'm on 550 with my podcast right now, and it's been really fun, honestly, at this point. What? What?
Man, I lost the connection to that guy. What is Had to be,
Are they, are they calling from different area codes?
This is a troll. You get that troll machine. It's probably, it says, my kids say they're trying to call now. Let's try and get my kids through so we can get out of here.
All right. If you're not Darren's kids, I'm going to hang up on you.
Yeah. It's got to be 403. Just bloop, 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 bloop.
There it is. Hello?
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 Hi.
Hi.
Oh.
Who's this?
Congratulations, Daddy.
Thank you, sweetie.
That's adorable.
Are you nervous?
A little bit, yes.
Oh, well, I love you. Thanks for putting up with all the podcasts.
Love you too.
Okay, I'll be up soon, okay?
Okay. I love you.
Love you too. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Should we call that a wrap?
Yeah, dude, that'd be a good way to end it right there, I
Wow,
think.
how cute is that?
That was adorable, right?
They've been trying for 3 hours.
There's still people calling in. I'm just saying, like, it ain't going to stop.
Well, that's good to know. We can keep doing call-in shows. Right?
Yeah,
we
for
can,
sure.
Maybe we'll have to do more of these, I guess, clearly. If we can do 4 hours of people calling nonstop. Then I guess we'll have to try and do one every 3 months or something like that.
Well, you could also, there's a whole bunch of sound clips on these voicemails, too. So.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, can you, so you can send them over to us? And
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome.
All right. Well, we're sorry if you didn't get through. I guess we're finally at the point where if we do a call-in show, we can't promise that everyone's going to get it.
Wait. You got 14 minutes. That would kind of be weird to cut it off there, wouldn't it?
Oh,
You
right,
don't
because
wanna
we're
push
doing your
through-
radio show. We're
Yeah,
on
you don't
the
wanna
radio.
push through.
Okay, we'll do 14 more minutes. All right, bring in another caller.
All right, here we go. 707 area code. You're on the air with Grimerica. Sorry. Who's speaking with?
How are you boys doing?
Good. Carbuncle. How you
Hey,
doing?
Carbuncle, did you get my email?
I haven't been to the office today. Kind of a crazy weekend. The lady's birthday, took her out on the boat. All the whatnots, beautiful sunshine. Yes, I'm just excited to talk to you boys. Holy shit. I noticed, Joe Rupe, you're holding it down so damn hard. I wanted to give you a little love here.
Thanks, man.
So I got a little beef for you to gnaw on here.
A what?
I got a little beef for you to gnaw on. So basically, I completely amateur to the magical arts. I happen to find myself living with a Freemason and a Canadian, and I just picked up quite a few things of what Watagwan in his ceremonial magic, and he incorporated me in a little bit. And at a certain point, I kind of went rogue. I was home alone by myself, a couple beers in. I at the time was super into prepping and had like maybe a dozen knives, kind of magnet strapped to the stabbing cabin, and I, given what I saw him doing, I just went rogue like that Mickey Mouse character in the first scene of Fantasia, and just started cutting the air in the directions of north and south, and then stabbed probably a dozen knives into the center of my kitchen table, and my entire world sort of decomposed. Or that might be the wrong word, but do you have any advice for a Mickey Mouse novice? I'm just a lonely carpenter in the Northern California coast. I might have fractured the matrix, and it literally took me marrying a Sicilian and moving to Europe to kind of shake whatever that monkey was.
What do you mean?
That happened.
What monkey? Like, what happened? Did you have Did you have some kind of out of body experience? Did you lose your awareness?
No.
No,
it seemed to be sort of this synchronistic, like the end of a phase, the end of an era. I was running like what would have been if I had continued, turned into a cult. It was a permaculture yoga, like underground punk rock, sort of educational facility. I had interns coming and going. The city wouldn't let us do yoga for insurance purposes, so I just fronted everything and called it free. The only way to get around putting a slab in. So the entire whole thing kind of slowly crumpled away, one aspect at a time. My career shifted. I quit the electricity thing. I just started working for the dudes on the mountain. I don't know, the farmers. We call that.
Yeah.
And everything kind of just shifted. But I feel like that I sliced through something, and if I could put a pin on it, that would be the moment. And I guess I'm asking, is there anything that I should do to put some ointment on that scab?
Are you saying that? I mean, are you being metaphorical or literal when you say you sliced through something?
No, I didn't. No, I stabbed all the knives into a table, and I lit candles and the frankincense, and like all the shit I saw the guy doing.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Kind of like apprentice, like sneaking into the workshop after hours. You know what I mean?
But he was slicing the air and slicing his reality at the same time.
Yeah. So did this guy tell you why you were doing those things? Did he explain them to you, what they meant and all that stuff?
There was a few introductory sessions that he had, some newbies. I'm not really familiar with the terminology, but some unaffiliated people come in, and he introduced the protection ritual and some banishing rituals and just basic, foundational stuff. And I was also watching it. I was living with him. He was very fascinating Canadian. Darren and Graham, I fell in love with you guys on the first episode. I found you through Randall via Greg Carlwood. And I just, there's something about, I don't know if that's racist. We're all North American, but there's something about the Canadian spirit that just gets me going.
Huh.
I just fucking no doubt, like that fucking let's get her done,
That's pretty good. That's fucking right on the nose.
Well, I don't know. Like, I would just start with meditation. Just there's a really good book called. It's probably a lot more basic than whatever this guy was doing, but it's called Kabbalah. The great work of. I can't even think right now. Kabbalah, Magic, and the Great Work of Self-Transformation by Liam Thomas Christopher, and that's about as basic as you're going to get. But a lot of times when
that book is, I'm having deja vu because I've written that book in a notepad in my iPhone from listening to you before, either chatting with these boys or another. I listen to Gordon White, and every time I try to pursue this, it feels intimidating because of that thing that I did. Fuck with the broom or something.
Yeah, do you probably need to do some kind of like cleansing, or maybe just like, here's another thing too. Magic isn't for like everybody, but you have to understand that we're all doing it every day regardless. But I know that the Golden Dawn structure of magic, that ritual form of magic, is good for you. It depends on where you are in your life. It will break things down sometimes and push you through a higher, happier self sometimes too. But if you're just into manifestation, stuff like that, then, chaos magic works. So I don't know. I'm kind of confused as to what happened to you, honestly, still, after all that.
Yeah, I guess I am too. I thought my I try to colorize something exciting and bring a little love to the Joe Rupe side of this. I saw you holding it down.
Oh, I appreciate it, man.
And just bringing it big for the boys. This is the first time, long time. I skipped the intro. Hi, boys. First time, long time. Yeah, love to see you soon. I'm signed up for Zion next year.
Zion's epic.
You know,
You're
anything
gonna
I
love
can do. Happy Cinquecento. Anything I can do, let me know.
Well, you can make my fake papers.
I got you. I got you, dog.
Fucking right. I appreciate it.
We're in there.
I appreciate it. That's amazing.
I got a homeboy. Turns I kind of did a little digging, and my homeboy is actually he's friends with Phoenix Enigma, and he's kind of in the Q world. But you know, those dudes are cool. I love all people. We love all people.
Is Q still going?
But he's got a hook. He's got a hook on all kinds of wonderful side roads, or what you call it, PDFs.
Right on.
Grambo and Rambo, it's been a pleasure talking to you boys. I should let you wrap up. That was the cutest thing in the world, hearing your girls call in. Goodness gracious.
Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, they're great. I got great kids.
They love you, Daddy.
Well,
that was
we
cute,
love
man.
you.
I really was.
We all love you.
Let us know.
Thanks, Joe. Thanks, Darren. Thanks, Graham.
Let us know how that goes, man. Try something out and let us know how that goes.
Meditation is always a good baseline.
There you go.
I kind of grew up a hippie, and meditation is sort of something I'm supposed to do, and have a bad habit of getting around to it. But
there you go. Maybe that's it.
You have to get back to it.
Grambo and Rambo. One last thing I'd like to say is there's some beautiful magic in my interests collide in sort of like a caricature of the both of, like, if the things that I would like to be, like in the aspects that you, Darren, represent. That's the epitome of that. And Graham, you have this beautiful other side that somehow they collide, and I'm not sure how that's two people or if that's four people, or it's all. It's the most wonderful conversation that I've ever had the pleasure of listening to.
Thank you very much, sir. That's we got to get you listening to more conversations, but that's very humbling, and we're very happy to hear it.
It's a lonely carpenter out in the woods.
I think I know what he's trying to say. Yeah, but it's interesting. We are totally different, and I feel like, I don't know if you've, but I feel like over the years, just to wrap this up, Darren and do I?
No,
Darren and I have kind of switched. Like, in some ways, we've sort of both transformed into the opposite. Like, we've almost done this. I feel like it's almost like this DNA helix kind of thing, where, like, I was one way and he was this way, and then we've sort of switched roles in a lot of ways. I could point out probably 5 to 10 things that we've sort of switched on from our intention and politics and aspirations and all kinds of stuff. I feel like our beliefs.
Absolutely. It's been wild to watch you guys. I've been around since probably 250 or so. It's been wild and synchronistic to my own life and my own values and hunting and spirituality and all these. Yeah, it's insane to have witnessed that.
It's been insane to have been along for the ride, sir, and we appreciate the call, and I can't wait to meet you in Utah next year. We're gonna have a fucking time.
You're not coming to Arizona?
I'm trying to convince my New Mexico buddy, who's probably 40 miles away from Ben Davidson, got some crazy Santa Fe permaculture vibe. You guys would all love him. I'm going to try to convince him to come out to Arizona because it's right next door.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
When I signed up for Zion, I almost signed up for the both on the spot, but budgetarily speaking, I got to be reasonable. So,
well, we hope to see you,
and
we
I'd
wish you
love
the
to
best.
see you, Joe. I'd love to meet you there.
Right on, buddy. Thanks so much.
Right on, Carbuncle. You have a lovely weekend out there. Thanks again for calling.
That's it. Phones are done. That's it.
That's it. All right. We're sorry for the people that didn't get in onto the Gramerica Call-In Show 500. Maybe we'll do one of these every, I was going to say every 100, but that would be like every 2 years.
Yeah, exactly. That's okay. That's okay with me.
If I would have had that other phone system, which we will next time, most people wouldn't have to keep calling in. But you would, I swear, dude, you guys would have filled up that one too. So it's fine.
Right on. Well, we
That's weird,
appreciate all of you guys for 500 episodes. Gramerica.ca/support, guys, if you can, when you can. Of course, we do want to do 500 more. We wouldn't have made it through the last 400 if it weren't for the few hundred people that are supporting us already or signed up for Outlawed or Rockfin or stuff like that. And we just want to keep going and growing and trying to change the world over here. So if you can, when you can, check out gramerica.ca/support and sign up for that monthly. Make that one-time donation. Return the value if you are getting some value from the podcast over the last 500 shows. Other than that,
audiobooks.
Love you. Are we going to do all that? Audiobooks, adultbrain.ca. If you want to get in on that audiobook action, The Secret Doctrine, of course, Cosmogenesis, available as an audiobook for the first time in the history of the planet. Volume 2, Anthropogenesis, is coming right away.
Well, not right away, but
The Secret Teachings should be available like any day. So that's all over at adultbrain.ca. We'll bring you over to all the audiobooks we produce. We love you, motherfuckers. Here's to 500 more. Thank you very much, Joe Rupe, for helping us run those calls. Thanks for listening, and we will see you next week.
5 pink flamingos and a few flamenco dancers. They're in the kitchen and they're baking Day of the Dead cookies. And I step into the kitchen and I'm like, let me have a lookie, see what kind of cookie you're cooking up. And they're looking up at me, skeptical, and I Poindexter to my spectacles. And I'm wearing a maroon Harvard t-shirt. Yeah, I know I'm a smart cookie, but I'm no psychic. You can come and ring my bell, but where we're gonna end up in the future, I can never tell. I can never tell. Me and 5 of my best friends and a few of my enemies. We're at the coffee shop and we're settling our differences. Benjamin Otto pulls out a game of Chinese checkers and he orders a cappuccino. And I pick blue and he picks red and you pick yellow. And I'm wearing a tie-dye peace sign t-shirt. Yeah, I know I'm a peacenik, but I ain't no hypocrite. You can come and ring my bell, but where we're gonna end up in the future, I can never tell. I can never tell. One bell, one man, and with my sense of smell, I can smell the salt in your tears. And I can sense your fears. You're hoping for a bit of divinity in this worldly vicinity. And you understand the fragility of the human vessel. And you sit Indian style like a pretzel. And you levitate to a transcendental state when you meditate. And you levitate to a transcendental state when you meditate. and you levitate to a transcendental state when you meditate.